center when it's your turn, but if you haven't, yeah, sure. Petitioner's at 4 minutes 34 seconds. Respondent's at 1 minute 11. When you're ready.
Your Honor, call warrant.
All right.
Laura, how are you feeling?
Nervous.
Okay. Breathe in. We'll get through this really quick, okay? Lori, we've talked about the timeline of events, and I want to just really quickly run through. When did you first meet Mr. Echard?
May the 17th, I believe we connected on LinkedIn.
Okay. And were you intimate with him at some point?
Yes.
What day was that?
May 20th.
At some point after you were intimate with him, did you test positive for pregnancy?
Yes.
Do you remember the first time that happened?
It was the evening of May 31st.
Okay. After you tested positive the first time, did you do anything to confirm the pregnancy?
Yes.
What did you do?
I went to Banner Health Urgent Care the next day, and I took a test there.
On June 1st?
Yes.
If you can look at the screen in front of you there, it says Exhibit 2. That's actually the wrong number. But that's a printout.
Zoom in!
Positive pregnancy test you received from Banner?
Yes.
On June 1st?
Yes.
Okay. And after you got the second positive test, what did you do?
There. I told Mr. Echard.
All right. Did you go see him at some point to talk about it?
Yes.
What day was that?
June 17th.
When you went over to his house, I understand?
Yes.
When you showed up at his house, did he ask you to take a pregnancy test?
He did.
Did you know in advance that he was going to give you that test?
I did not.
Did you take the test in front of him?
Yes, I did.
Did he actually watch you pee on a stick?
Yes, he did.
What was the result of that?
No,
It
she
was positive.
lied. She lied.
After you had the third test that was positive with him,
Clayton
did
just
he send you an
shook
email
his
at
head
some point
no.
to talk about the situation?
Yes.
All right, looking at the screen in front of you, is this the email that Mr. Echard sent you on, it looks like June 21st?
Yes.
The third paragraph down has some highlighted text, and I'll just read it. Considering you only performed oral sex on me and no vaginal penetration occurred, the chances of you being pregnant seem considerably low. Although, again, maybe rubbing up against one another allowed a sperm to make its way inside you. It's a very low probability. Nevertheless, it is one. First of all, Clayton wrote that to you, yes?
Yes.
And did you have conversations with him where he told you that he thought you were pregnant?
Yes.
Is that verbal conversations, or text, or
Gaslighting.
email, or all three?
All three.
Okay. Moving right along. After you got this email on...
This is unbelievable.
Your Honor, Petitioner's Exhibit A2.
Any objection? A2 proceed.
After
We can
the
hear
email
Gingrich
of
so
June
well, but
21st,
not
what
Clayton's
happened next in
side.
terms of your proceeding to verify the pregnancy?
I took additional tests.
Did you have a sonogram done in California?
Yes, I did.
Where was that done?
Planned Parenthood.
And you understand, and I'm sure Mr. Woodnick will ask you about this, Planned Parenthood has not been able to verify that you were ever seen there. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Can you explain that?
Yes. I went under a fake name when I went there.
Okay. And you had a sonogram done. Did you ever present that sonogram as evidence in any court proceeding anywhere?
No.
We have obviously presented it in this, but you've admitted already that you changed the name at the top or the location. Did you change the name at the top of the sonogram?
The location, yes.
Why did you do that?
I changed it because Mr. Echard was being threatening towards me, and I didn't want him to know where I had gone and try to track down my providers.
Okay. After the Planned Parenthood sonogram, do you remember approximately what date that was? I know you signed a declaration that July 2nd, and then there maybe a conflict. Do you remember what date that was?
It was actually the end of June.
Okay. Were you in California both weekends? That's the
Yes.
All right. After the sonogram in California, around July 23rd, did something happen in terms of passing tissue or anything like that?
Yes.
Can you explain briefly what happened on July 23rd?
Yeah. I wasn't having any symptoms at all, but I did pass tissue that looked like it could have potentially been a miscarriage. I'm not sure if you're going to pull that up, or if I was looking for something.
I'll wait.
Okay. Yeah. It looked like it could potentially be miscarriage tissue, but I wasn't sure.
Did you seek any medical care after July 23rd, after the tissue passed,
Yes.
related to that?
Yes.
What did you do?
I texted a hotline for pregnancy and miscarriage questions, and I also did an appointment with a telemedicine doctor as well.
Okay, and what did they tell?
Video visit.
I'm sorry, what did they tell you?
They
Back on listener.
Hold on 1 second. Overruled.
Go ahead.
that means to go ahead. Okay.
I don't know why y'all thought she was gonna come on here and tell the truth. Did you guys think that she was gonna come on here and tell the truth? Did you think that that was gonna happen? I see some shock in the comments. She was never gonna come on here and tell the truth.
What was the question? What did they tell me?
Yeah, what information did they give you, if any?
They told me that I needed to monitor myself, but that they felt like unless I had more symptoms, I didn't need to worry that it was a miscarriage.
Okay, and after July 23rd, did you take any other pregnancy tests shortly after that?
Yes, I did.
What date?
I believe the 27th and then also August 1st before I filed this case.
Okay, so the day that you filed, before you filed this case, how many pregnancy tests did you have?
5.
So you had one on May 31st, you had one on June 1st at Banner, you had another one on June 17th with Clayton. You took one, I have my notes say July 25th, but I think you testified the other day or two differently. August 1st also, so 5 positive tests before you filed this case.
Yes.
Do you have any negative tests before you filed this case?
No.
Laura, Clayton has argued, let me go back to the night of May 20th. You have, in your deposition, you said that Clayton actually had sexual intercourse. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And was that true?
Yes.
Did you tell him that night that you did not want to have sex?
Yes.
And did he honor that request?
No.
Oh, she's
Laura,
going
you've
with
heard
the
Clayton
R.
argue at various places in this case that you were trying to trap him in some way by what happened here. Can you explain, if you were trying to trap him, why did you tell him that you didn't want to have sex?
I wasn't trying to trap him.
Hold on 1 second.
Sorry.
Sustained.
Okay. But you never, that first night with Clayton, you never said to him, let's do it all night long, or anything like that.
No.
Did you tell Clayton that you wanted to have sex that night?
No.
Laura, let's switch very quickly. Actually, let's go back to our timeline. After you filed the case on August 1, did you do anything in terms of DNA testing to verify the pregnancy and verify that Clayton was the father?
Yes.
What did you do to verify that?
We took a test. Well, I paid for a test in August at Ravgen, which was the lab that he chose to conduct the test. And I paid for it, and he did not schedule his part of the test.
So, according to my notes, August 15th was the Ravgen initial booking for $725 you paid. Is that accurate?
Yes.
What date did you initially book the Ravgen test for?
August 15th,
And what did you pay for it?
$725.
Okay. And why didn't that test go forward, or did it go forward?
Clayton did not schedule his part of the test.
Okay, so you had to cancel?
Yes.
You eventually successfully complete the test.
Yes.
What was the result of that?
It was inconclusive, little to no fetal DNA.
Okay. Do you remember when that result came back?
I believe we took the test September 28th, so shortly thereafter.
All right. After the Ravgen results came back, did you have any further pregnancy tests?
Yes.
Do you remember the date, when and where that happened?
Yeah. It was October the 16th, I believe, and it was at any lab test now.
And was that a quantitative test? Did it involve a blood draw?
It was a blood draw, I guess.
Do you remember the results?
I gotta see
of
if
that
I can
test?
show this
It
chat
still showed
somehow.
that I was pregnant.
At some point, did you eventually learn that you were no longer pregnant?
Yes.
What date did that happen?
November 15th, I believe.
And was that go to a facility called MomDoc?
Yes.
And how many did they give you a pregnancy test then?
Yes.
More than one test?
They just gave me one test.
And the results were both negative.
Yes.
After you learned that you were no longer
that
pregnant,
awkward?
November 14th, did you file anything further in this case?
No.
What was your intent? If we go back to the any lab test now, October 16th, you filed a request for mediation 2 days after that, correct?
Correct.
What was your intent in doing that?
I wanted to dismiss the case. I wanted to go over the test results.
Did you know how to dismiss the case?
No.
So you were making an effort to let Clayton know that you thought the pregnancy was probably ending badly and you wanted to drop the case.
Objection leading.
All right. Laura, let's switch topics briefly. Did Clayton ever lie to you about real estate contracts?
Yes.
Can you briefly explain what happened with that?
Yeah. I first met him as a realtor, and I had him make 2 offers on 2 different properties on the same day, and found out he never submitted those offers. But I signed them
When were the offers submitted?
May 24th.
And when did you find out that Clayton didn't send them to the seller?
May 25th because they were only good for 24 hours.
So he lied to you and said that he had sent offers in that he didn't.
Correct.
Objection argumentative, objection relevance.
Goes to,
Overruled.
go ahead.
Correct.
At some point, did you file a complaint against Clayton with the real estate board?
Yes, I did.
Did you receive a response from the board regarding your complaint?
Yes.
What was that response?
They found him in professional violation of a couple of things, but I can't remember what they were.
Laura, that issue with the real estate contracts happened before you tested positive for pregnancy, if I don't understand the timeline correctly. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you ever learn why Clayton did not submit those offers or why he said he didn't?
He said I didn't because he said I had no intention of purchasing real estate.
Facts.
Did you have an intention of purchasing real estate?
Facts.
Did you wind up purchasing real estate?
Yes.
Let's talk about proof of pregnancy. Did
What?
you wind up purchasing real estate?
Yes.
Let's talk about proof of pregnancy again. So, did you take a photo of the test that you took on May 31st?
Yes, I did.
All right. I think, Patch, if you saw the text.
Yeah, I still have the exhibit.
So, attached to this email are a couple of photos here. One's right there. Day 11. It says, is this a photograph that you took?
Yes, day 11 is one I took, and I believe the one above is one Clayton took.
Oh, okay. So the one that says day 11 is a photo that you took, and you sent that to Clayton at or around that time.
Yes.
And then the one above that is it says day 21, and it also appears to show positive. And that's the test that Clayton gave you.
Yes.
And he sent that picture back to you.
Yeah, he took it right after the test at his place.
All right. And the test that you took at Banner and the results that you received there on June 1st, did you send that to Clayton?
Yes.
That's it's our exhibit A1, and I'll move to admit that one while you're on.
Any objection?
No objection.
A1's received.
Okay, Laura, did you do, regarding the Banner test, the day 11 test, or the day 21 test, those three tests, did you do anything at all to tamper with the results of those tests?
No.
Did you take any drugs,
She
hormones,
lied.
substance at all to affect the outcome?
No.
Did you use someone else's urine to change the outcome?
No.
Laura, in Clayton's deposition, this exact issue came up about him giving you the test and wanting you to take it in front of him, and he testified. I'll just read from his deposition. Yeah, I wanted to make sure she didn't bring anything into the bathroom, but she couldn't pee right in front of me because she said she had stage fright. So I closed the door so she would be able to pee. Is that deposition testimony truthful?
I did have stage fright. He was right. I did tell him that, but I did pee in front of him because he insisted that I did that.
You
Okay.
just lied
And when
earlier.
he sent you the email on July 19th, 2 days after. I'm sorry.
It
June
was literally
19th,
10
2 days
minutes
after
ago.
You went to his house and took that third test in front of him. Did he say anything at all about the fact that you closed the door and couldn't be in front of him?
No.
Can you guys hear me when I'm talking over the thing? Can you hear
and
me?
Clayton, you obviously saw the first pregnancy
There's
test
only a
that you
couple
took,
people in
saw
here.
the second one that you took, or the results of it anyway, and the third one that you took in front of him. Go back to Exhibit A2. At the end of this email, Clayton says, at the very top of the page, he says, I say all this, and in the email he talks about the fact he thought you might be on some medication that affected the results, I guess. But he says, at the top paragraph,
I'm going to object to the information off the potential piece of evidence that hasn't been admitted. Giving quite a narrative.
that has been.
Yeah, two's been received. If you look in the top left-hand corner, if there's a green sticker, that means it's been received.
I
If it's
apologize.
brown, it means it was declined. Go ahead, counsel.
Laura, the question I have for you regarding the first paragraph at the top of the page there, Clayton wrote, or the email says,
Oh,
this is why it's
cross-examination.
important for us to do the
Oh, wait, no,
paternity
it's not.
test because there's no question that if it comes back positive, it is mine. Did Clayton ever tell you that he wanted you to have a paternity test done?
Yes.
Did he ever say to you that if you didn't file this case that he would?
Yes.
How many times?
I don't know how many times. A bunch of times.
At some point before you filed this case, did you hire a lawyer to help you?
Yes.
And who was that?
Bonnie Platter.
And she never appeared in any case for you, is my understanding. Is that right?
Yeah, she never appeared.
Okay, but what did you have her do with regard to Clayton and the pregnancy issue?
I wanted to prevent filing a case publicly in court for both of our sakes. I didn't want it to be public and thought that we could come up with a parenting plan if, in fact, the pregnancy was Clayton's. I thought we could come up with it on our own without having to involve the court.
Okay, so before you filed this case, you made an effort to work with him to get the test done privately without court being involved?
Yes, and I hired the attorney. I said I would pay for it.
Did he hire anyone?
No.
To your knowledge? Laura, let's move forward to look at Exhibit A3, which, have you ever seen this before?
Yes.
Can you tell us what it is?
This is the message in my patient portal for, I'm part of a domestic violence brain injury program at Barrow, and this is a conversation with my doctor there.
Okay, did you send this email? It looks like it's an email dated June 28th from you to a Dr. Dennis Zeman, Z-I-E-M-A-N. Did you write that email?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit exhibit, whatever that is.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Laura, in this email at the very top there, you write to Dr. Zeman that you went to Planned Parenthood while in California, and you said they did a scan there, was confirmed that you were pregnant, and that they saw a sac. Does that refresh your recollection about the date that you went to see Planned Parenthood?
Yes.
And is the statement that you made to Dr. Zeman truthful?
Yes.
When you wrote that, did you know that anyone would ever see that in the light of day other than you and Dr. Zeman?
Nope. I had no idea.
Okay.
Zoom in on her. Let's see. Zoom. Yes. Zoom, 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 zoom. Hercules, Hercules. Zoom, zoom.
I don't know.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All
I just
right.
didn't want Clayton
Yes,
to know
yes,
where I
we can
had
see.
gone to get the sonogram because he had been intimidating before.
Court can help me switch from my exhibits to Clayton's.
Sure, if you scroll down to where, yeah, that, exactly. Now go all the way to the bottom. There should be an R. Keep going if you're able to.
Stop there.
All right.
I don't see that.
It's
Oh, all right, it's tiny. I'm blind. There it is. Yep. Yeah, got it. And we're going to go. Yeah, okay. I want to see Clayton's exhibit.
Yeah, you're going to scroll all the way down.
Respondents. Gotcha. Okay, Laura, looking at Respondents Exhibit 31. I don't know why that doesn't match.
Joabi Oliveira said, "Is this a judgment?" Honestly, I'm
So,
not
what
specifically
you
sure
wanna do
exactly
is,
what's
it
happening
may not
today,
be
but I
the
know it's a
exhibit numbers that the
trial, so
attorneys labeled it
hopefully
as
there is a
being.
judgment
Those are
today.
the court.
There should be. The
designations.
judge is supposed to
I'm
make
looking for his
their
Exhibit 31.
All right,
opinion
so if you look
on
for
what's
his
happened
exhibit
here.
31, that does show that it is exhibit 31.
Exhibit 31 on his exhibit list is listed petitioner faking ultrasound. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a video. There we go. That's what I wanted to see right there. Laura, Clayton's Exhibit 31 is appears to be an email from you to Clayton. It says ultrasound video proof. Clayton, here is my 100 billion% real ultrasound video.
100 billion%.
It's not an email that I sent, but I've seen it since.
Okay. Well, you answered my question. You know what,
Lawyer's
what
laughing.
what this exhibit shows? Do you know what it shows?
I do now.
Laura, assuming that what we're looking at here is meant to be an email from you, did you send this to Clayton?
I did not.
Did you ever send Clayton an email with a ultrasound video attached to it?
I did not.
Do you have any idea why Clayton would think that you sent him an email like this?
Well, yeah, that has my signature on it.
Well, that's a fair statement. But you didn't send this. Do you know who did?
I have my suspicions, but I can't be.
No, let's hear it. I'd like to hear it.
I have a suspicion that an ex of mine sent this to Clayton.
Who? Which ex?
Greg Gillespie.
Is he in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think Greg Gillespie sent this?
Because Greg has hacked my email before and has admitted to hacking other people's emails.
Okay. So you're obviously under oath, under penalty of perjury. You did not send that email and you don't know who did.
Correct.
Okay. Let's talk about going back to our Exhibit A5. So can you tell us what Exhibit A5 is? Do you recognize this?
Yes.
I'm going to be here a
This
while.
receipt,
Might have to get
that
something to
you
eat.
emailed, but Does this reflect the RAVGEN that you talked about before?
Yes.
Okay, and that was August 15th that you made that payment?
Yes.
And then later on here, at the bottom, You indicate, let's see here. Friday, this appears to be an email from you Friday, August 18th. Did you write that email?
Yes.
You send that to, it looks like to Clayton and also CC DravGen.
Yes.
And it states here that unfortunately Clayton has refused to take the prenatal paternity test. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Is that the reason why the test didn't happen in mid-August?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I move to admit Exhibit A5.
Objection.
No objection.
A5's received.
Okay. Let's look at Clayton's Exhibit 9. Hopefully, there we go. Laura, do you recognize this exhibit, Exhibit 9?
Yes.
This appears to be an email from you to Clayton dated October 14th, 2023. And this is an email that you sent him?
Yes.
All right. In this email, you first of all, you're saying some reference to a sonogram video, and you said it matches up with the still video that Dave sent me. I assume that we're talking about Dave Neal.
Yes.
And you told him this was not my ultrasound. I stand by that 100%. Did Dave Neal ever? Did Dave? Well, first of all, who's Dave Neal?
Dave Neal's a content creator.
And at some point, did Dave send you a sonogram video and ask if it was yours?
Yes.
What did you say to him?
I said it was not mine.
Did you ever have a sonogram video of any kind with Clayton?
No.
Did you ever send a sonogram video to anyone claiming that it showed the pregnancy with Clayton?
No.
If we go down to the second paragraph, Laura, I'm going to see if I can highlight here. And again, this is Utah. I can't highlight. The second sentence in the second paragraph, I'll read it. I think you were very, very high that night, and you forgot that when you were on top of you on your couch, you were begging me to let you put it in for 30 seconds, then 25, then 20, 15, 10, and I said no each time. Then I thought you were just fingering me, but you stuck it in briefly. First of all, you wrote those words to Clayton, right?
Yes.
And were those words accurate?
Yes.
Is that what happened that night on May 20th?
Yes.
When you sent this email to Clayton, did he ever respond back to you and deny that that's what happened?
No.
Let's talk now about the last positive test that you took. Let me see here. It says Exhibit A9, but that's not it. You went to any lab test now at some point. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And when did that happen?
On October 16th, I believe.
Okay. Why? Again, these aren't matching up. Because are we on? Yeah, we're on his. That's why. Okay. I need new glasses. There it is. Okay. So Laura, looking at Exhibit A9, do you recognize what this is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the results from the test I took at any lab test now.
And is it your understanding that that result, it says 102H, is it your understanding that you were testing pregnant at still in mid-October 2023?
Yes.
Objection misstates the evidence.
Overruled.
Um,
Be addressed in cross-examination.
So did you do anything at all to tamper with this test, take any drugs, inject yourself with anything at all to affect this?
No, I did not.
And this was a blood draw that came out of your arm?
Yes.
Did you supply them the blood yourself, or did a phlebotomist take it out of your arm?
A phlebotomist took it.
So 2 days after this is when you filed the request for mediation, I think, in this case, right? And,
Yes.
And after that date, you filed nothing further.
This was 2 days prior to when I filed for mediation.
Did you pretty much understand that when you got this test that was probably not going to be a viable pregnancy?
That it was probably not. Yeah, but I still saw that it said anything over 4 was pregnant. So
Your Honor, I move to admit Exhibit A9.
No objection, Your Honor.
A9's received.
And A11 is going to be. Can you tell us if you recognize what this is?
the records from Mom Doc.
Okay, and this is an OBGYN facility that you visited.
Yes.
And according to the date here, it says November 14th, 2023. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And so this is when you went in and had a test done that came back negative, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Move to admit A11 if we have.
No objection.
A11's received.
All right. Laura, let's look at Exhibit A6. Can you tell us what Exhibit A6 is?
Yes, that's me showing my pregnant stomach.
And when did you create that video? Do you know?
September the 19th.
Okay. Let me see here. Your Honor, I'll move to admit A6.
No objection, Your Honor.
A6 is received.
And let's look at A7. It's a similar video. Did you take this video yourself, or it looks like you're obviously not
Yeah.
holding the camera, but what you put on a
Yeah,
little
I put it
stand?
on the stand. Yeah.
You took this video. Do you remember the date of this?
October the 9th.
Okay. I don't know if it even showed anything there, but it's real short. Okay. Laura, between May 20th and November 14th, we've established November 14th, you were no longer pregnant. Did you experience any
I
pregnancy
turned my
symptoms?
mic off. Whoops.
Yes.
Can you explain what those symptoms were?
Yeah, I had very bad morning sickness and nausea, and my breasts were very tender.
Remember how much you weighed when you went to see Mom Doc?
I believe it was 121. Or, I'm sorry, no, not Mom Doc. I thought you were meaning in May. I was 133 at Mom Doc. I'm sorry about that.
So around the time that this was taken, your weight was 133. What do you weigh today?
91 pounds.
Will you stand up and show the court and everyone what you look like now compared to the picture behind you? Can you come out from behind the screen there? And just do a little turn for us. Laura, that's enough, thanks. For the last
I'm
time,
not gonna say
were you
anything.
pregnant
I'm not
with
saying
Clayton?
anything.
Yes.
Do you think that you were pregnant with Clayton?
Yes.
Do you have any reason to think that you weren't when you filed this case?
No.
Did you lie about being pregnant with Clayton?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Counsel, you've used 29 minutes and 30 seconds. When you're ready.
And Your Honor, is it okay if I proceed from the podium? Will the court be able to hear me?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. We have a microphone on the podium, correct? Okay, all right. When you're ready.
Good morning, Ms. Owens.
Good morning.
You understand that you're currently under oath and have testified truthfully today, correct?
Correct.
You understand the difference between the truth and
Oh,
lie.
we can't hear the questions.
Obviously, yes.
And you would agree with me that fabricating or doctoring evidence is dishonest and unreasonable.
Uncle,
Right.
I was
And you're aware that
thinking,
lying under
I
oath
didn't
is
want to
crime.
say. I did not
Correct.
want to say.
Correct.
Because I've dealt with my
The
own
reason I'm
shit.
asking these questions
I don't
is
want
because
to, I didn't
I've
want to
cross-examined-
speculate. I didn't want to
Right?
speculate.
Right.
But
cross-examined
I was
Judge
thinking the
Jones
same
for asking
thing.
That's it.
As someone who knows the signs, I was thinking
Right.
the same
Right.
thing.
And during this hearing, that hearing, you'd recall that I gave you the opportunity to correct the record and come
That's
to me
so
about any
crazy
false
that you said
information
that.
or testimony you may have provided, right?
Right.
And you told me you had nothing to correct, right?
Correct.
And then you proceeded to lie to the court.
Objection, argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You testified that you were 100% pregnant on November 2nd, correct?
Correct.
And you testified that you were 24 weeks pregnant specifically.
Correct.
I'd like you to take a look at your Exhibit A11, please.
She's got them in front
I
of
can see. Yeah.
Ms. Owens, this appointment that you attended at Mom Doc on November 14th of 2023 was 12 days after I cross-examined you, right?
Correct.
And during that cross-examination, I pointed out that you had no legitimate medical records to support the pregnancy, right?
I mean, you said that, but I don't agree with it. No.
At this appointment, Ms. Owens, it was confirmed that you were not pregnant, correct?
Correct.
These Mom Doc records also indicate that you were diagnosed with polycystic ovarian disease, right?
I've had that since I was 17. Yes.
And you'll recall at the hearing on November 2nd, specifically questioned you about any physical health diagnoses that you had, right?
I don't remember, but if you say so, then yes.
Oh, now you don't remember nothing.
Failed to testify that you had PCOS, right?
I can't say one way or the other if I did or didn't. I'll take your word for it, but it's not something that I live with daily.
Also failed to tell me that in 2016, doctors Jan and Neidigh diagnosed you with cancer and apparently one of your own.
They did not.
God.
But as you sit here today, you're denying that.
I will absolutely deny that that happened.
Now, for what you reported, what you self-reported to Mom Doc, they listed a spontaneous abortion date of August 12th of 2023
I'm gonna try and.
Correct?
They listed a lot of things that were inaccurate here. I never told them that I had an abortion that date.
Okay, well, spontaneous abortion, if I were to tell you, is August miscarriage.
Dang.
The they listed a miscarriage date of August 12th, 2023 at 8 weeks pregnant.
Yes, but I also never was pregnant in 2019, so I don't know where that came from.
Can't hear shit.
Based on what you know about pregnancy, as someone who's allegedly pregnant 3 or 4 times in the past, you miscarried at 8 weeks pregnant, that wouldn't line up with your alleged conception date, Mr. Echard.
I don't know, and I'm telling you, I never told them that I was 8 weeks pregnant and lost that on August 12th.
All of a sudden, she doesn't remember anything. So strange.
Correct?
Correct.
I'd like you to take a look at what's marked as Exhibit 49, which is the deposition transcript. Ms. Owens, you recall sitting for a deposition on March 1st of 2024, correct?
Correct.
And your counsel at the time following that deposition was provided with a copy of this transcript as well as you, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't take any opportunity to correct this transcript.
I actually didn't see it until you guys sent it to us. My former counsel never showed this to me. So,
Okay. Well, you're aware that this has been marked as a copy of your deposition transcript from March 1st of 2024, correct?
correct.
And this is a true and accurate copy of the transcript that you received, correct?
From your office, yes. I did not get one prior to that.
Any objection?
No objection.
Is that A or B, counsel? I apologize.
I guess it would be
B49 is received.
Ms. Owens, during your deposition, specifically on page 149, lines 18 to 21, you testified that you started spotting, meaning you were having a light period in August or September, correct?
I wasn't having a light period. I didn't end up getting a period until November. I said light spotting, but sorry. I said light spotting, but that wasn't a period.
In your deposition, 151, line 24, you claim you passed the 2 sacks to have them for October, correct?
Correct.
But in the mom doc records, you claim you passed the 2 sacks 2 weeks after your alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood, right?
Several weeks after.
Right?
Right. I wasn't sure what the date was.
No OBGYN, qualified medical professional, conducted an ultrasound, performed a physical examination, or performed a blood test to confirm your alleged pregnancy on or before August 1st of 2023, right?
Wrong.
Okay, let's talk about that, because I suspected you would answer that this way. You claim that you had an alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood in Southern California, correct?
Correct.
And you testified during your deposition that the alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood in Mission Viejo, California on July 7th. Right?
I did say it was there. That's where I was staying at the time, in Mission Viejo.
While we amplified returning to Congress, you said that you went to Planned Parenthood under a fake name.
Right.
Can you guys hear it really low with the lawyer?
Right?
Right.
And you knew that we were
Yeah, Uncle, 91 pounds, adult woman, agreed. If she's 4'7", sure, fine, which I don't think she is.
Right.
It's like, listen, no judgment. I've dealt with the EDs. I'm not accusing.
I felt like the whole purpose of
I
going
didn't
to
wanna
Planned
say
Parenthood is to
anything,
remain
but that's
anonymous,
just-
and that's one of my protections.
But that's what I thought. I'm not speculating, but that was the first thought that came to my head because I've been there. So, y'all have seen my pictures on this channel. I've showed them before.
That looks like it, yes.
Any objection?
No objection.
B28 is received.
And Ms. Owens, this ultrasound image does not say Planned Parenthood. It says SMI local smile. Correct?
Correct.
And in your deposition, you admitted you altered this ultrasound picture to say smile instead of Planned Parenthood, right?
Correct.
And you admitted in your deposition to altering this picture on the Adobe Acrobat program at your house, right?
Correct.
During the deposition, you testified that the date listed here of July 7th of 2023 was correct and hadn't been edited by you. Is
a little bit
Correct.
better.
But you later admit that you lied about this July 7th ultrasound, right?
Correct.
And you executed an affidavit on April 16th of 2024, claiming the correct date for this already doctored ultrasound is actually July 2nd of 2024, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great.
So I want to get this straight. So
Great. Just when we get to the lies.
you claimed you had ultrasound at
No.
Planned Parenthood
This man's
on July
lying.
7th, which you doctored to say it was for
Y'all know the
spinal,
dog
right?
is under the desk
Correct.
where he likes to
And
be.
the story changes again, and you claim that the ultrasound image should actually be dated July 2nd of 2020, right?
Correct.
So you changed the date on the ultrasound from July 2nd to July 7th, correct?
Correct.
And you utilize this altered or fake ultrasound to try to convince Mr. Echard and the court and the media that you were pregnant with Mr. Echard.
This was never submitted to the court.
You're aware that Planned Parenthood has no record of an ultrasound, correct?
Under my real name, yes. And more.
Again, established, you provide our office the date of your that you allegedly went to Planned Parenthood,
Oh, the
correct?
sound got
Correct.
worse again.
You never attended the appointment with Planned Parenthood.
Yes, I did.
Now it's. Unless she's not saying anything.
This is a true and accurate copy of our request and response from Planned Parenthood regarding your records in April 26, 2024, correct?
Correct. I don't believe I've seen this, but I have no idea.
And counsel, I'm so sorry. I'll stop the clock like I've done for the others. We're going to give you a microphone because, as I anticipated, there was a problem picking up.
All right, here we go. Yes, we got a microphone in there. Yes. Yes, baby. Yes, let's do that. Technical difficulties being worked out. Love that for us.
Exhibit 29 is a copy of our request and the response from Planned Parenthood regarding your records in April 26th of 2024, correct?
Correct.
For the admission of Exhibit 29, Your Honor.
Objection?
No objection.
29 is received.
And while you've indicated today that you went to Planned Parenthood under a fake date,
I typed in, get that mic in
you're
there
actually
in Lauren's
scheduled an
chat.
appointment for July 2nd. That failed to attend.
Correct.
It also indicates that the ultrasound image that you claimed was from Planned Parenthood was not from Planned Parenthood because it was not consistent with ultrasound images generated by their practice.
Is
right?
this on auto white
Not
balance?
by the one in Mission Viejo.
It's a bit
Correct.
yellow.
So these are yes or no questions. This document states that the ultrasound image you have claimed is from Planned Parenthood is not consistent with ultrasound images generated by their practice, right?
By that practice, but as they said, I could have been seen by another different entity.
So you're well aware that this request covered all of Orange County and San Bernardino.
It didn't cover Los Angeles, though.
Now you're saying you went to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So you're telling us you went to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles on the day of trial today.
Yes.
Okay. When did you go to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles?
Exactly when I said I went.
When was that?
July 2nd.
Okay.
She's
I'd like to go back to the two facts you passed. So again,
July
your
2nd.
deposition, you claimed you
I
passed
went
in
July
September,
2nd.
right?
Yes.
But then you changed the date.
Oh
and
my
claimed you passed
god,
the
dude.
facts on July 23rd of 2020.
She
Right?
can, yeah,
Right.
people are saying she cannot stop lying.
And
I
you
agree.
actually had an appointment scheduled with Dr. McCool, who claimed is your high-risk perinatalogist, for July 24th of 2020, right?
Right, that I canceled days prior.
Okay, so cancel that appointment.
Days prior.
How far
Scheduled
is
August 7th.
is
Yes, if that's the
What?
date that I did.
Scottsdale from
That
fucking
was
Los
someone who
Angeles?
has had miscarriages in the past and who has an alleged high-risk pregnancy, it would be prudent to attend an in-person appointment shortly after passing 2 facts.
Boone, how far?
Well, that's why I asked the doctors online.
Oh, it's yes or no questions.
I'm
You're looking at your attorney, but
Who's
you're looking at
shaking-
the question from
okay. Can you ask the question again?
Wouldn't you agree that as someone who has a high-risk pregnancy.
6.5
So
hours.
let's say you had 2 sacks on July 23rd of 2023. It would have been important for you to see your high-risk neonatologist immediately after that happening.
Well, that's why I scheduled that's why I immediately contacted telemedicine. It was at night.
You contacted a telemed provider instead of attending the appointment with your high-risk neonatologist.
It had already been canceled days prior.
So you had 4 appointments scheduled with Dr. right?
Correct.
And you intentionally failed to attend those appointments because all of those appointments would have resulted in a medical record that stated you were not pregnant, right?
Objection,
to-
argumentative.
Turn the mic to the
The
right,
form of the question, but you can ask the question a different way.
because the mic is facing forward. She needs to turn it to the
During
right.
the November 2nd hearing, you denied that the DNA test results came back with little to no fetal DNA, right?
What?
During the November 2nd hearing,
What?
I said that the test was.
LA is 6.5 hours
during
from
the November
Scottsdale
2nd
Drive.
hearing, you denied that the DNA test results came back with little to no fetal DNA. So look, I see you continue-
No, I didn't. I never said it didn't. I said it came back
confused.
inconclusive.
I'm confused about what date she's referring to. What,
November 2nd.
November 2nd hearing? Okay, again, before my time, so that's why I'm confused. I apologize.
I said it was inconclusive and it was little to no fetal DNA. I never said it came back anything but that.
Okay, well, today you've admitted that there was little to no DNA, little to no fetal DNA, right?
I've never said there was anything else.
You also ordered and took a blood HCG test, the lab test now, on October 16th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
And I'd like you to take a look at Exhibit 36, page 201. This has already been admitted, so we'll move past that. By the time of this test on November 16th, you had claimed you were previously seen at Banner, Planned Parenthood, Dr. McCool, Dr. Planned Parenthood, Higley, and even Dr. Zeman, right?
Your Honor, objection, she misstated the date. She said September 16th, I believe. It's October
That
16th.
can be addressed in redirect.
I said that Dr. McCool's my doctor. I did not say that I had seen him. I said I had seen Dr. Higley and the rest. Correct.
We'll talk about Dr. Higley, but your answer is
Just wanted to see what Megan and Dave Neal are up to.
like me to
Or are these
questions,
other
though.
people up to?
Kirk.
Okay. I'm gonna stand.
Okay, other people are watching it. Not just me. Not just me. It's a lot going
No,
on.
I don't need guidance from my attorney. I know how to answer the questions.
By the time of your appointment at 2023, you claimed you were previously seen at Banner, Planned Parenthood, Dr. Higley, and even Dr. right?
Yes.
But instead of going to any of those providers for this test, you went to an entirely new provider, correct?
I just went on my way home from taking the Ravgen test, actually.
Yes or no question?
Well, it wasn't a provider. It was a self-paid test, so.
Okay, so you didn't go to any of your prior providers for this test, right?
Correct.
By your
I'm
own
trying to figure out who goes and gets this stuff done anonymously. This is so fucking random.
result of an level
All
100
convenient, I should say.
pregnancy, right?
Objection, misstates the testimony.
Overruled.
Oh, look at his face. He said,
Oh, can you say it again? I'm sorry.
overruled.
By your own admission, the test result of 100 level 3 is not consistent with the pregnancy.
Objection.
I
Go ahead.
I learned that it was.
That it was consistent with pregnancy or was not pregnant.
Well, the test results said anything above 4 was pregnant, so I thought 102 was pregnant, but then I learned it was not.
Would agree with you that it was not consistent with pregnancy.
No, I wouldn't.
You doctored this particular test twice, correct?
I doctored the test once.
Okay, and when was that?
When I tried to send it to Dave Neal to get him to stop creating harassing videos of me.
And what amount did you doctor?
Oh, Dave got name dropped.
It was
Dave
like
got name
102,000, I believe.
Dave got name dropped. I want to see his reaction.
So you'll recognize this as
He's showing the pictures.
But it has an HCT level different than what you just indicated, and it says 131,902.
Okay.
correct?
Yes, that's.
So you also doctored this test.
No, I didn't know what the number was that I had made it to.
So I doctored this test twice. One to say 102,000, and again to say 131,900, right?
I doctored it, I guess, to say 131,902.
Mm-hmm.
As of October 17, 2023, when you received this test result, you had reason to believe you were not pregnant, right?
Yes, after doing some research, yes.
Okay. But then you proceeded to lie under oath at hearings for this court on October 24th, October 25th, and November 2nd, correct?
That's not correct, no.
Instead of telling the truth, you tampered with this HCG test to increase the level and offered that as support for a pregnancy.
To a content creator, not to the court.
You also testified on November 2nd, unequivocally, that your OBGYN were Dr. McCool and Dr. Hickey, right?
Right.
In fact, you went so far as to state that your main OBGYN is the perinatalogist, Dr. McCool, right?
Correct.
You further testified on November 2nd that you had last seen Dr. Hickey on last Friday, right?
Right.
You lied to the court when you stated this.
I had the appointment scheduled, which you guys have. I know, but it needs to be answered. Correct. It needs to be answered. I had an appointment scheduled with him that I did not attend, but I did have an appointment scheduled.
Seen by a doctor, that's not the same as having a
Delicious little lies.
correct?
They're so
Correct.
yummy.
So we would agree that you were dishonest
Lies are so
by
delicious.
Dr. Higley the Friday before the November 2nd.
Correct. That's a very minor thing.
Stop. Stop.
Yeah, really.
So it's
You know,
never been
I mean, if this is, I'm not comfortable if the JFC crew is going to be having reactions, honestly.
What?
Stop the clock at this time. Counsel, you ask questions. Ma'am, you answer the questions. I could ask the gallery to please keep your
I
actions-
think I
I'm
can't.
still talking, ma'am.
I think I can't.
Keep your comments to a minimum or you will be asked to leave. Go ahead, counsel.
The JFC crew is here. Oh, y'all got to shout out. Y'all got to calm down. Y'all can't be acting ratchet in the court, okay?
Correct.
Calm down,
And the
okay?
records from Dr. McCool's office indicate that you made 4 appointments that you never attended.
Oh my gosh.
Correct.
And the records from Dr. Higley's office that we obtained indicate that they have no records for you from August 2020 to the present, right?
I'm sorry, you said Dr. Higley or Dr. McCool? Can I take a minute?
What? No!
We have just a 5-minute recess.
Sure, at this time. No, go ahead. What were you going to say, counsel? Well, we factored in a 10-minute break, so what we'll do is we'll take it now. And then when we come back, there will be no further breaks. So that's just something for the parties to keep in mind. We'll stand in recess.
All right.
Oh no, I can't. Can I please take a break? No, mommy, please. Oh no, why did you take the break so early? Like, you still gotta come back. You still gotta come back and answer. You still gotta come back and answer these questions. You gonna get this work. This lawyer gonna give you this work. She's giving the work. The sleek black hair, black suit, white top. You gonna get this work. Yes, I love powerful, assertive, accomplished women. It's just so cool to me. I'm just like, yes, girl, yes, yes. Girl power, girl boss, girl boss life. Okay, girl boss life. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Look who's making an appearance. Let's go. Let's go. See, I got so excited that he brought me this ball now. Now I have to play with him. All right, until they come back, the 10-minute break. Like, what did you guys think about that? Like, oh, maybe this is a good time to jump into Dave's stream. Like, let's see what Dave's is talking about. Let's see what he's talking about. Here we go.
But it has an HCT level.
You know, we can't control what people are doing in the courtroom, but the fact that Laura refers to them by name as the Justice for Clayton Crew, these are humans that all met and came together when they saw the abuse of this court system. That's what's happening here, folks. That's what's happening. I'm going to take a minute. Hey, Bruce, can you get on camera? I'm going to have Bruce get on camera, and I'm trying to fix the generator. We're having air conditioning issues. Thank you guys for the super chats. Sorry about that.
Oh, they looking kind of hot and sweaty. Listen, I'm in South Florida, so I know how it is. But I'm in here in the AC. You know, AC, no Scottsdale. AZ, no Scottsdale. Okay, that you guys might not get that. But anyway.
Oh my gosh. All right, Bruce Morgan here. Let's see, guys, what's going on? Okay, Marilyn says, Bruce looking good. I got my tie. We're not quite to the point where I'm going to do the tilted lawyer double tie yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, kids. All right, Dave is king. She'll probably fake. Wait, what? She's breaking under the pressure.
Go get the ball, little
What made her mention the JFC Crew?
Go get it.
I think there was some noise in the gallery in response to some of the, wild back and forth that was going on between Deandra and Laura Owens. I mean,
Yeah, y'all gotta
what can you
chill
do?
out. Y'all
Let's
can't
see.
be ratchet.
Larry
Stop
says
being
it wasn't me.
ratchet.
Thank you, Larry. Okay. Elizabeth says, Bruce, you have a great radio voice. Thank you. Okay. What is JFC Crew? Justice for Clayton. I guess anybody here who is a public viewer of a public court case who wants to, watch the live stream or be in the, there's the courtroom gallery, and there's also an overflow room. There's a bunch of people like Reality Steve in the overflow
So
room.
does the overflow room have a
Let's see.
camera? Has a feed?
Yeah, when she said not attending the appointment was a minor thing. I mean, yeah, we're back to the pledged versus donated at the appointment. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, why have they not asked for the fake name she provided to Planned Parenthood and Teens
Okay,
Records
so
for
there's a
ultrasound?
fee.
I don't know that we knew about a fake name
Okay.
before this, because
So-
everything before this was about being anonymous.
They probably kept
um,
talking stuff.
In which case, you
there.
wouldn't have any name, let alone a fake name. So if there was a fake name, it has not been disclosed. So let's see.
Dang,
Man,
the
I'm
timeline
gonna
is
scroll
going
down here and see more
crazy.
comments.
Everybody is freaking.
Let's see. Oh, Megan Fox. Everyone has been very good in the courtroom. It was one of those moments that just made, it probably just made some people laugh a little bit. Let's see what else we can get.
Because lies, they're funny, man. They're funny. It's delicious. It's like,
My phone's way over there.
it's
Okay.
just like,
Maybe I
you
can get some
know,
new comments down here.
you gotta. I'm so.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Now I'm
Like,
seeing them.
I could not
Okay.
imagine lying to a judge. Like,
The judge knows
like,
what's up,
that's
and she's too
fucking
smart to let
nuts,
JD
bro.
bury herself. Okay.
lying
JFC
to a
is just
judge.
Clayton. She's trying to dodge questioning. Okay.
Lying to a judge is so crazy to me. Like, lying to a judge, taking false documents in court. Like, I don't know if it's because my dad was a Fed that I just have like this respect and fear of the law, kind of like the ocean. You should respect the ocean. You should also fear the ocean. You know, I just could never think to do that. Like, it's just like, you're going to, I mean, obviously not everybody gets caught lying, but most people get caught lying. It's not worth it, especially harsher consequences, more severe. If you get caught lying, like, I just can't imagine doing that. Like, oh my gosh, like, don't get me wrong, like, everybody lies, you know, like, here or there, like, you know. I told a guy that I was, not recently, I told a guy that I was at home, you know, doing work on the computer when I was out having a drink with my friend, okay? So we all lie sometimes, you know? It happens. So, you know, that's not to say, but like, dang, lying in court, forging documents, forging medical documents, you know, all of a sudden, you know, when her lawyer's talking, yes, I agree, that's true, 100%. And then all of a sudden with Clayton's lawyer, it's like, I don't know, I don't remember, that's not correct, wrong, I don't know who, I mean, whatever. You know, she got to do and say what she got to do and say to defend herself, which, you know, everybody has a right to, but couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
Can't wait for the rest. We're on the 10-minute break. Moment that you're watching, and you know, we smoke lawyers. A line lined up. You know, about 10. A nice orderly line, 10-15 minutes before 8, and they briefed everybody on where to go and what to do, and then everybody waited in the hallway while we got the AV equipment set up, and I guess they let everybody in and diverted everybody else to the overflow room. Let's see. Guarantee Ingris is talking to her about her testimony. Yeah, I mean, 10-minute break. That's, I mean, they used their one break card, so we'll see where we go from here. Dave is trying to get the generator going so we can get the van AC rather than just using the regular cabin AC. And cool this place off a little bit, because it is hot outside.
I can imagine.
I don't see anybody else milling about outside, so it's pretty quiet out here. Let's see. Let me see if I can refresh the
Megan
comments here.
saying anything? Or she's streaming.
Comments.
Okay, she's streaming.
Oh boy.
Dave streams to
Let's
her
see.
channel
Fudging
as
answering
well.
back. She was asking questions. Stay hydrated. Yes, we have tons of Gatorade and cold brew and water over here. She answered her lawyer quickly, but not Clayton's attorney. She's wasting time on Clayton's time. Well, I think they each side has their own set amount of time. So, yeah, she might be wasting time during the cross-examination. That's true. Let's see. They used their break card early. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh,
So
she
how
thought
long
she'd
is
get
it
another
supposed to be?
TEDx,
3
etc.
hours or 2
Maybe.
hours?
Oh. What else do we got here?
What are you tearing up down there? He loves to
My
rip
dog
things
stepped on a
up.
bee. Bruce, remember that. Okay, I will. Tell Dave to turn on the van engine. AC relies on 12 volt from car. Yes, our engine is running. We have a full tank of gas. We're doing the cabin AC right now, but there's a roof AC that we want to get going with the generator over here in the tech van, the rush hour tech van. Let's see. Why are they covering the same questions again? Yeah, Gingras was asking the questions both times. Yeah, I mean, you know, when you only have an hour, like, how are you going to do a full timeline recap? Like, it's very, very difficult. Let's see. You bring up where she said, if it was Clayton's, that opens the door right there. Okay. She won't, try driving the van. I mean, we did have a moment where...
Okay, you're saying, I'm seeing the chat, Mrs. Brightside. Does that have anything to do with killers? Love that. Love that for you, if so. Mrs. Brightside said people there said she looks about 5'2", but she who must not be named, just kidding, Laura Owens, you know, obviously I have her name and picture on my screen. She claims to be 5'5". You know, everybody's body is different. Everybody has different frame, different bones and stuff. Like I said, I'm not speculating, but y'all might rewind and see my reaction when she stood up. It was like, and that was only because I have dealt with the A and the B in my past. Okay, I have dealt with it. I've talked about it before on this channel. Weight fluctuating up and down my whole life. Okay, I can't speculate on what may be going on, but that's what I thought. I was like, that was my first thought was like, ooh, like concern. But, you know, like I said, I'm not speculating. I'm not putting, oh, this is what it is. This must be gone. Nope. I'm saying just what I thought from my vision. That's it. And my own life experience. And knowing other people who went through the same thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm 5'7", and my weight is like between 135, supposed to be 135 to 155. I'm not really sure what it is for people who are 5'2" or 5'5". 5'5" is just under 5'7". I don't think it's 91. I don't know, but I'm not an expert.
We angled the van a little bit while the test stream was running, so that was a little wild. Let's see. Took my jacket. Yeah, you must be so hot. Well, you know, the van here has AC, and we got the window shade, and we closed the door, so we're trying to stay as cool in here as we can. It's not too bad. Let's see. Have you guys met up in person before at a comedy show? Yes, I've been to Dave's show in Seattle and also one right here in Arizona, the Clayton guest spot comedy show. So that was fun. Did you check the fuel level in the generator? It runs out quickly. I think that's what Dave is doing right now. Oh, something's happening.
How's everything going?
It's going good.
It's cool enough in here. I gotta try to find a way to get this generator turned on.
Okay.
I'll just try to text you.
All right. Robert says, who are you? Hey, this is Bruce from Oregon.
4,900 people waiting for it to go.
Yeah. Stream pause during trial break. So we're just on break here. Seems like Laura's side used the break card pretty early.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And she used her first chance to get out of it when someone said something in the courtroom.
Yeah. Emergency solar.
So if
panel.
anybody's
Yeah.
watching the stream,
Food
you know,
truck.
just give me a little
Yeah.
thumbs up.
I mean, we have some
Thumbs
kind
up,
bars, so we're
you know.
vaguely a food truck. Yes, Dave's name was mentioned several times during this testimony.
I'm gonna try.
But yeah, give me a thumbs up. Anyway, I guess I'll just use this opportunity to update people because I had, wait, hold up. Hold on. Okay, wait, what? Sorry. I just want to make sure I have Lauren's stream up. Oh, wait, we're back?
Of an alleged record.
You guys got the results yourselves, so
These are yes or no questions.
that's
Attorney
not
is
fair.
given an opportunity to conduct direct examination. He'll elaborate then.
I said I was going to explain some shit, but we're back, so.
I mean, that's not fair. You guys know that you have the results of this that show the same thing, so I wasn't hiding anything here. That's not fair.
Purple does appear as non-responsive.
For someone who's been involved in court cases nonstop since at least 2016.
You know what? That's not accurate. I have not been involved nonstop since
Stop the
2016.
clock for a moment, and I'm going to remind the parties. Counsel, you ask a question, ma'am, you answer the question. Otherwise, we move into a different area that I don't think anyone wants to go into. Counsel, resume.
Ms. Owens,
Speak for yourself, Judge. I'm here for the mess.
in court cases since at least 2016, correct?
Nonstop, or are
I'm
you
just
saying
kidding.
since
Just
2016?
kidding.
Can you just rephrase the question?
Am I?
Question as I asked him, been involved in court cases since 2016.
No.
Oh,
This particular document, Exhibit A1, has 3 different types of highlighting on it, correct?
I see two.
And Isabel, if you can please pull our Exhibit 17, page 110. You'll see this is the same document, but I believe maybe when your office scanned it in, you can't see all the highlighting. So I'm going to show you ours. You see there's 3 different types of highlighting.
Yes.
And you highlighted this on the same Adobe Acrobat program that you used to alter the other records, correct?
This was the doctor highlighted point of care test results, and then I highlighted first trimester pregnancy and encounter for pregnancy test on my iPhone, but it wasn't Adobe Acrobat.
Types of highlighting on this document, correct?
Yes.
And I want to talk to you about the date of this alleged. We can agree that a woman.
Whoa. Get that mic, lady. Get that mic.
Well, my case was different.
So these are yes or no questions.
I think the answer depends. I don't get a period, so I don't know how to answer that.
Don't get a regular
I don't.
test for, right?
Correct.
And between 2014 and the present, you have alleged that you were pregnant by 4 different men, correct?
Correct.
And all 4 of those men told you, one way or another, that they believed you fabricated those pregnancies, right?
The first was not so specific about that.
And 3 of them are here today, right?
Correct.
And they also believe that you doctored medical records, right?
Sustained.
I'll move on, Your Honor. Ms. Owens, each time that one of these 3 men refused to be in a relationship with you and questioned your pregnancy narrative, you obtained an order of protection against them, right?
We're getting to the
False.
juice right here.
Okay, well, you have an order of protection against Mr. Greg Gillespie, correct?
Correct.
And he didn't believe that you were ever pregnant with his child, right?
No, that's wrong. He had me, I went to a doctor. He told me I needed to go to the specific doctor to confirm the pregnancy, which I did, who spoke to
Okay,
him.
stop. I'm striking that response. The court reporter has been very clear. Everyone's talking over each other for appellate purposes, and the fact that one of the parties is paying for the court reporter. I implore you, please, to talk one at a time. With regards to the objection, it's overruled. Go ahead, counsel.
Your Honor, I'll move on in the interest of time. Ms. Owens, you didn't file an affidavit of financial information in this case, did you?
I did.
When did you file that?
August or September. It's with the court.
Let me know if there's an
It's on the
echo
record.
too, y'all.
Consistent with your deposition testimony and your April 16th affidavit, you would agree with me that you make approximately $200,000 a year and then have approximately $500,000 in like a money market, right?
I don't have $500,000 in a money market account.
Okay, but you would agree with me that you make approximately $200,000 a year?
It's with businesses I have with my mom, so it's proportional to us. With our companies, yeah.
Ms. Owens, I want to give you one more opportunity. The media is here. You know that this case has gone viral. You have an opportunity right now to come clean and start fresh. So I'm going to ask you one final time. You were never pregnant by Clayton Echard. Correct?
That is absolutely incorrect.
Oh, why y'all keep giving her a chance?
Time's
Why
at
do you
28
keep
minutes,
thinking she's gonna do
46
something
seconds.
else?
Direct when you're ready.
I mean,
Your Honor,
whatever. She's a lawyer. She gave her an
First of all-
opportunity, but
Laura, looking at Exhibit A0, are we on my screen? This is the timeline that we
I've been
talked about
telling y'all
before.
from the beginning.
Back over that real quick. And does that accurately reflect the testimony you gave earlier regarding your version of the events?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit Exhibit A0. It's a Rule 1006. It's a summary of the testimony.
I'm sorry. I have to say one thing. The other court case in Arizona with the baseball player or whatever who ended up, who had a woman who was also accusing him of getting her pregnant and stalking him and trying to extort him and doing all this stuff. And she's now, about to serve 16 years in jail. Like, I hate to bring this up. But, they always say, it's been proven that black men in particular, for example, get harsher penalties than white men for the same exact crime, okay? If I haven't read that whole case, but there needs to be an equal, you cannot prosecute the black woman who did this same thing, put her in jail for 16 years, and then not prosecute the white woman in the same way. Someone needs to point that out to the DA with some statistics, okay? because like, just enforce the law equally. If you think this is someone deserves 16 years in jail for doing this, enforce the law equally across the board. And I even commented on Clayton's Instagram. I'll talk more after this, I guess, and give my ideas, but I'm gonna speed this up to catch up.
Over objection, the court will receive what's been marked as injury, giving it the weight that it deserves. Demonstratively.
Right. Laura, regarding Banner, there was some comment a minute ago that you didn't produce records from Banner. To your knowledge, did you authorize Mr. Woodnick or his firm to get records from Banner?
Yes.
And looking at Exhibit A1, it's not just a photo of, the first page is a photo of something, but can you tell us what the second page here is?
That's from my patient portal, showing that I was positive for Banner.
Okay, and to your knowledge, did Mr. Woodnick actually receive records from Banner? Did he ask for them?
Yes.
And did he get them?
Yes.
Okay. One final thing. You said before on cross-examination that when you saw that 102 HCG test from October 16th, that you believe that meant you were not pregnant. Do you understand the difference between a viable pregnancy and a non-viable one?
Yes.
Do you believe that the 102 number that you got in October 16th, 2023 meant that you were not pregnant at all? What was your understanding of that 102 number? What did it mean to you?
That I was still pregnant, as it was over 4, was what it said.
Okay. No further questions.
All right, Mandy, you can sit back down. Sure. Respondent's at 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Petitioner is at 31 minutes, 14 of the. You can call your next witness when you're ready.
Your Honor, petitioner calls Dr. Michael Mitchell.
All right. Doctor, if you'd like to bring water with you, you may.
Did we swear him already? We did. Good morning, Dr. Mitchell. State your name, please.
Dr. Michael Mitchell.
We have about 15 minutes, so I got to go really, really quick here. I know you're retired now. Can you tell the court what you did before you retired?
I was the chairman of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at St. Joseph's Hospital. I was in private practice at the same time, and was also on the teaching faculty of the Phoenix Integrated Residency Program in Obstetrics and Gynecology.
Okay, so you have a medical doctorate degree,
Yes.
and you practiced medicine in Arizona for about 30 years, is that right?
Correct.
And according to the Arizona Medical Board, it says that you were first licensed in Arizona in 1992, and the medical license expired on March 7, 2022. Is that accurate?
Yes.
About 2 years ago. And you retired from medicine and standing with the medical board?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I tender Dr. Mitchell as an expert in the area of obstetrics and gynecology.
All right. So
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, in front of you there, we've got your CV, I guess. This is Exhibit A12. And everything in your CV is accurate?
Yes.
Is that up to date and current?
Yes.
Okay. And like you said, you served as the chairman of the obstetrics and gynecology department at St. Joseph's
Lauren
Hospital.
says, guys, he's delivered other
capacity, how many
people's
children did you
babies.
personally
Case
I
closed.
delivered over 20,000 babies.
And I think when we were talking, you explained that the success rate of a pregnancy when a woman becomes pregnant and then delivers a baby, not all of them make it. Is that right?
Almost half of all pregnancies ended in miscarriage.
Okay. And so if you delivered 22 or 20,000 children, how many patients did you see that didn't deliver healthy babies? Was it roughly sorry? In addition to women that did not deliver a healthy baby, in addition to women who delivered healthy children, did you have patients who had miscarriage?
Thousands.
And so you have extensive training and experience with regard to women that have non-normal pregnancy.
Correct.
All right, Dr. Mitchell, in your report here, which again is Exhibit A12, you summarize, there's a written report and it's going slow. Let me see here. Did you review some records as part of your retention in this case?
Yes.
And your report has an index of exhibits that you looked at. There's a Banner pregnancy test, an image of some issues. They're all attached to your report. Other than what is listed there, did you review anything else?
Just one side list.
Okay. And after you performed that initial review, you asked for some medical records. You had a question regarding medications.
Yes.
And did you get those records?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall where they're
Okay,
from?
we're caught up.
From Neurologic Institute.
You're familiar with Barrow.
Very familiar. They're at St. Joseph's Hospital.
That's part of the.
Over 99% probability.
Okay. And can you explain what facts support that conclusion? The facts that you considered anyway.
I am kind of the Sergeant Friday of Dragnet. I only take in the facts, bare facts that are known to be provable. Number one, there was intimacy of some type, disputed what exactly it was. Number two, she had a positive pregnancy test at a lab at Banner, which means that there's a 99% chance that that's a positive pregnancy. Number three, she had a negative test or little or no fetal DNA found on a test in late September, looking for fetal DNA in the blood. What that tells me is that by that point, at the end of September, the pregnancy had failed, that even though she still had a positive pregnancy test, it was no longer a viable pregnancy. The fourth thing is that she still had a positive pregnancy test in the blood of 102 on October 16th, which again, greater than 99% positive that she was pregnant. And the fact that between June 1st and October 16th, she's got 2 laboratory proven pregnancy tests. That indicates that all of the urine pregnancy tests, any other pregnancy tests that she had done, likely are also demonstrably positive. And the final thing is when she had bleeding in November, and then a couple of days later had a negative pregnancy test at the mom doc. It also illustrates, one, that the pregnancy finally was completed. So what happened was she had a pregnancy. It failed at some point. There's no way of knowing exactly when. Frequently, very frequently, when people miscarry, they're incomplete. Some of it miscarries, the fetus is no longer alive, but you still continue to have a positive pregnancy test because there's still tissue there that hasn't been expelled. That finally happened in November when that pregnancy was completed, when that miscarriage was completed.
Okay, Dr. Mitchell, Mr. Echard has said that he doesn't believe that a pregnancy was possible here because there was no intercourse. Do you have an opinion about that? Regarding general, not regarding him or her, but in general.
Well, it's said that men are like basketball players. They dribble before they shoot. They also dribble afterwards. And if you are rubbing genitalia together, it is possible to get pregnant.
How much weight would you assign to the fact that Mr. Echard denied sexual intercourse? Is that significant to the question of whether she was pregnant, or is it a minor point?
It has nothing to do with whether she was pregnant.
Hold on 1 second, Counsel.
What? What?
Dr. Mitchell, I think you said earlier that it's impossible to know for sure when Laura's pregnancy ended. Do you have an opinion about, based on the records that you've seen and the information that's been provided to you, do you have a theory about when?
It actually ended in November when her pregnancy test was negative. When it failed, in other words, when it was no longer viable, there is no way of knowing exactly when that happened.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, somebody online, I think, made a comment, very obviously, that Laura may have injected herself with HCG. I think that we talked about a trigger shot or something like that. First of all, what is an HCG trigger shot?
It's used in trying to help somebody get pregnant, and it's by prescription. It's an injection, and I saw no records that indicated that anybody would have given her a prescription for HCG. Okay. Would there be a reason to give her one, especially if she was already pregnant?
Right. Dr. Mitchell, Clayton, in his pretrial statement, objected to your testimony on a couple of grounds, and I know you and I talked about this. I'll just read one of his objections, that you have relied on an admittedly tampered with data set. Do you feel that you've relied on admittedly tampered data in any way, shape, or form forming your conclusion?
Absolutely not. All I've included were the fact that they both admitted that there was some type of intimacy, that there were all the other things that I used to make my decision was based on laboratory tests.
And the Planned Parenthood sonogram that we've spoken about, and I think you were sitting here and saw and heard that testimony, did you rely on that Planned Parenthood sonogram in any way?
No.
And the HCG test from any lab test now that Laura did not send to any court, the one that said 130-something thousand, did you rely on that in any way?
No.
Does the fact that Laura has those credibility problems and that she did some things that we all agree are dumb, does that change your opinion on whether or not she was pregnant?
No.
Why not?
The lab tests, like I said, are 99+%, and they were repeated over and over and over. And so she was pregnant.
One other objection that Clayton made to your testimony, Dr. Mitchell, is that you, with zero scientific or DNA basis, made a conclusion that Clayton was the father of twins. Have you reached that opinion at all?
That's,
I mean, I don't see it in your report. I'm just wondering if you agree that you can't make any conclusions at all because we don't have DNA.
correct.
You're familiar with the RavGen test process.
Yes.
Can you think of any reason why a woman who is not pregnant would want to take a test like that? Dr. Mitchell, if Laura was not pregnant and she submitted a sample to RavGen, would RavGen be able to confirm that she wasn't pregnant?
Protection Foundation.
Dr. Mitchell, you're familiar with RavGen. You just said that.
Yes.
Did you ever use them in your practice or something like that, a similar service?
Yes.
And as part of using a DNA testing service like that, does the service confirm that the woman is or isn't pregnant? Can they come back and say this woman's not pregnant?
Protection Foundation.
I've always thought this was
Do you
strange.
ever have that happen?
The fact that
when
you can
used,
basically
DNA
pay
testing
an
as a
expert
doctor?
to say
You
what
ever
you
have
want
a
them to
test come back
say.
that said a woman was not
It's
pregnant?
not just him. I've seen this in other cases, obviously, but I've always thought that was so strange.
I'm asking about the process generally, Your Honor.
Overruled. He can answer the question.
Pre-cell DNA, which RavGen is a type, has been around for a number of years. I used it frequently. It not only tells you if you're pregnant, it tells if it's a boy or a
I need
girl.
some food.
It'll tell you if it has genetic defects. It's incredible. It's the biggest, best new technology that we've had in the last 20, 30 years.
I was looking at my notes when you answered. So a RavGen type test or RavGen itself can tell whether it's a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Can tell, well, other than necessarily could tell whether the woman's pregnant at all?
Yes, obviously.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, one final question, one series. Can you see the picture behind you there of
Yes.
Laura's body? As a physician and as a man or doctor who's delivered lots of healthy babies and some that didn't end healthy, can you explain how Laura's body could be that size? And
Let me go get
never
some of
said
these
that she was
gluten-free
asking?
chips.
Overruled. He can answer if he has an opinion. The court will give it the weight it deserves, which could be a little, a lot, or none at all.
That photo is actually one of the things that. Did you look at this photo as part of your
I saw
review?
that photo earlier, yes.
And regarding the size of Laura's belly, which clearly is not here anymore, does that show you anything regarding whether or not she was pregnant?
It could indicate that she was pregnant, could indicate other things.
The fact that Laura didn't claim to pass a large fetus, is that something surprising to you, or is that something that could logically be explained medically?
The fact that this pregnancy, in all likelihood, was no longer viable early in this pregnancy doesn't surprise me that she didn't pass much tissue at all.
How does that happen? Does the body?
What happens is the fetus starts to grow. At some point, the fetus stops growing. There's no longer a heartbeat. If it's very early, they may just get a period. If they miscarry, they may pass a little tissue, maybe not. And some of that tissue remains enough that it continues to produce HCG. That's why she continued to have the positive pregnancy tests. And that's why we call it an incomplete abortion. Once we know that there's no longer a viable pregnancy there, but the pregnancy doesn't end until all that tissue is gone, at which time it is a completed miscarriage.
Okay. Two more questions, Dr. Mitchell. Have you reviewed the expert report of Dr. Dean's, who's Clayton's expert?
Yes,
Do you disagree with anything that Dr. Dean said?
not really. The only thing that was amusing to me was the fact that they're relying on a clinical pregnancy. There's a old adage, either you're pregnant or you're not. The adage isn't you're either clinically pregnant or not. And the reason for that is because to be clinically pregnant, that means that you have to have prenatal care. Laura did not have prenatal care. I took care of hundreds of women who had no prenatal care. So technically, were not clinically pregnant, walked into the hospital, and I delivered a 9-pound baby, even though they weren't clinically pregnant. Clinical pregnancy only means that they've gotten prenatal care that you could see on ultrasound or you could hear with an instrument. And so a clinical pregnancy is not relevant here. It's either you're pregnant or you're not.
And your opinion is that Laura was pregnant, even if it wasn't a clinical pregnancy, she was pregnant.
Correct.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, Counsel, you're at 45 minutes and 43 seconds. Counsel, you have 28 minutes, 46 seconds.
Thank you, doctor. You consider yourself a scientist, correct?
Yes.
So you know that when collecting data, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you're not relying on good data, the opinion you're going to give is not going to be credible. Is that correct?
Yo, I
that's why I
swear
only
when
got-
he just
relied
started
on the
talking,
data that I
thunder
saw.
just
Totally
went
incredible.
That was
boom.
data that-
It's about to rain here. I swear to God.
The data that was presented to me.
I saw when you drove into the parking lot, you walked in with Laura's mom in the parking lot. Are you friendly with her mother?
Yeah, I just met her this morning.
Okay, that's nice. Did you, well, let's go here. Mr. Gingras asked you whether or not you relied on the ultrasound, but you're aware that the ultrasound was a fake, correct?
I've been told that, and that's why I didn't rely on it.
Okay, but knowing that the ultrasound was a fake, doesn't that cause you to be incredulous about the other data that Ms. Owens presented you?
That's precisely why I only used the data that was laboratory proven.
We actually sat in here and are relying on a photocopy for a picture of a medical record that Laura gave. That was the banner with the 3 colors of highlighter. Do you remember seeing that? We were just sitting there.
Yeah, I saw that, yes.
You understand, Laura has admitted faking medical records.
Yes.
Fake ultrasounds
T.
by putting other lab names on them.
Oh.
Fake the 2 versions of the HCP test that you relied on, correct? Exactly.
Rest. Rest.
No,
The data that I relied on was stuff that was verified
Bro, he came
from
out
the
swinging.
laboratory itself.
that's not true. You relied on a photocopy that Laura took a picture of and provided you. It's in your file.
The Sonora Quest test on October the 16th was, I believe, derived directly from Sonora Quest.
Okay, let me
I
pause.
think
Does it concern you as a scientist that 3 men have accused Laura of fabricating medical documents?
that has nothing to do with the data.
Does it concern you as a, doesn't have anything to do with the data? Doesn't mean that you should do a deeper dive to verify the authenticity of the data?
If you have proof that the test from Banner or from Rabgen or from the quantitative HCG were fake, I'm willing to take a look at them, but that's what I have.
But doctor, we have proof. She changed the sonogram and she changed the HTT levels of one of the tests to a lab.
I didn't rely on the ultrasound, and I didn't rely on the fake 100 and whatever thousand.
Okay. You know that Laura testified that she, well, we can agree, you reviewed absolutely 0 records from Laura's piece, correct?
I don't know
Well, that's a problem. Wouldn't you have wanted to talk to her what drug she was on?
I saw what drugs she was on from Barrow.
Well, you saw what drug she was on from a neurologist that she had telemed. You didn't request, doctor, records from her piece, correct?
I did not.
And you would agree that it would have been helpful had you reviewed her historic gynecological record, correct? Correct?
The testing of her, whether she was pregnant or not, had nothing to do with her gynecological
I
record.
have no idea whether or not she had elevated HCG or was any better.
The fact that she had a negative HCG at the end of her pregnancy tells me that
Y'all, I
she
feel like
didn't
I'm
have
watching a movie.
familial HCG
Popcorn.
in her system.
Okay, doctor, let's really quickly talk about.
I'm eating chips and dip, but
as a physician and a scientist, you would
I am
agree that
seated.
HCG
I am
could be
seated.
elevated due to pituitary disease, correct?
Yes,
It could be elevated due to cancer, correct?
yes,
Ovarian cyst.
depending on if it was cancer.
You're aware that Dr. Yi and Dr. Chan both provided medical records, but both indicated that Laura had ovarian cyst.
I saw those records. I didn't.
I'll move on. Let's go back. It could be elevated HCG, caused by weight loss drugs.
I'm not aware of weight loss, but there are drugs that can alter HCG results.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. How about anxiety medication?
Yes,
How about antidepressants?
yes.
I have no idea whether or not Laura was on any of those medications because you didn't review her historic medical records other than what was provided to you by telemed at Barrow, correct?
I saw that she was on some of those medicines,
What medicine?
the anti-anxiety medicine.
The anti-anxiety medicine that you just said could elevate her HCG. Last, doctor.
Damn.
IDF drugs also cause escalated HCG, do they not?
Right?
Laura could have
See?
been on Novorel or Predgen, correct?
I ain't got enough chips and dip.
I saw no records of that, and there would be no reason why, if she was pregnant, that she'd done it.
One last question, doctor. The anti-psychotic Clozapine causes elevated HCG.
It's been reported to.
Dang,
One
she
question.
on
Mitchell,
antipsychotics.
Regarding the potential of some issue other than pregnancy being the source of Laura's HCG in her blood, are you aware that after November 14th, or on November 14th, she tested negative twice?
Them
If Laura
antipsychotics
had
be
drugs
hitting.
or tumors or cysts or anything else that was causing an elevated HCG level, would she have tested negative for pregnancy twice on November 14th?
No, it would have been positive.
Okay, before you sit down, Doctor, I just have a few questions. So, you said that HCG requires a prescription, correct?
The injecting, yes.
Does Planned Parenthood have the authorization to write those prescriptions, as far as you know, in Arizona anyway?
I can't imagine any reason why they would. It's a drug that's used to induce ovulation, so it's
Oh, the judge is
used
asking
in
questions
infertility
now?
patients.
Okay,
Planned Parenthood doesn't normally do infertility.
I understand, but that wasn't my question. My question was that are the medical doctors there able to write a prescription for it if they chose to, if they deemed it medically necessary?
Yes.
Okay. Did you review either the Planned Parenthood records from Mission Viejo or Los Angeles? Okay. Follow up to the court's questions. Follow up to the court's questions. Thank you, Doctor. Step down. And counsels, before we call the next witness up,
So much tea being
I'm-
spilled.
I point this out to the parties. We've explored B9, B31, and A12 that have not been moved. So I don't know if that was just an oversight or if the parties are intending to move those.
I'm sorry, can I have this?
Sure, B9, B31, and A12 were addressed but not moved.
I would move to admit.
Anything I make, I only get about 80% because I have to get. I have to feed. I have to pay the
All right,
dog
and I
tax.
assume no objection, counsel?
I just wanted to look what they were.
You explored them with your client on direct.
Those are good. Yep, no objection.
Okay, the court will receive what's been marked as B9, A31, and A12. Thank you. You can call your next witness. Your Honor. Sure. Respondent's at 34 minutes, 36 seconds. Petitioner is at 46 minutes and 6 seconds.
Your Honor, I'm going to reserve the rest of my time, so I'm done.
Okay. All right. Counsel.
Judge, with some technological help, and hopefully we're not on the clock, we're going to call Dr. Dean.
Okay. All right. So you're on the clock for her testimony, but getting her set up is not. Right. Dr. Deans, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Counsel?
Before we go on the clock, Dr. Deans, can you hear me? It's the voice of Greg Woodneck.
Yes, I can see you too.
Oh, there you are. Thank you. All right, we're ready, Judge. Thank
Hold
you.
on 1 second. I want to make sure she can hear everybody. Counsel, will you do the test, please?
Hi, Dr. Deans, good morning.
Good morning, I can hear you.
Can you see me?
I can.
All right, and doctor, before we get started, and I give this advisory whenever we have virtual witnesses, is if you need, I understand we've all got multiple screens going, if you need to look at a report or your notes or something different, I need you to let me know that you're going to do that. We'll give you an opportunity to do it wherever that document is located. Once your recollection has been reflected, please look away from that screen and let us know that you're ready. Additionally, you should be able to see, once we put it up, any exhibits that either counsel will
My
ask.
dog is literally nudging me
Let
like,
know if you can't see, okay?
I will, thank
chips
you.
for me too, boss.
Hi, Dr. Deans. I'm going to go lightning fast. Introduce yourself to the court, please.
I am Dr. Samantha Deans.
Where'd you go to medical school?
Indiana University School of Medicine.
Are you board certified?
Double board certified.
What's your first board?
Obstetrics and gynecology.
And your second board?
Complex family planning.
You have 2 fellowships?
Just one.
Thank you. Do you teach
I do.
medical students and physicians?
Medical students and resident doctors.
You teach them gynecological and early family planning?
Yes, complex family.
All right, thank you, Professor Deans. You've provided us with your CD, which is Exhibit 39, I'd move to admit.
No objection.
You also did a report for us, it's Exhibit 41, which we'll pull up on the screen. Did you have an opportunity to review the medical records for Laura Owens?
Yes, the ones I was provided with.
Exhibit number 41, did you know that that was published online on a website?
Just to confirm, I'm looking at my
Gluten-free.
report, and no, I did
Gluten
not.
free, baby. No gluten belly for me.
Did you give Miss Owens permission to publish your report on a website?
I did not.
Judge, I'm tendering Dr. Deans as an expert here.
No, I have one voir dire question for her. Dr. Deans, hi, good morning. How many children have you delivered as a OBGYN?
Probably too many to count, but I would say at least 3,000 at this point.
Okay. that's
Oh,
it.
damn. Y'all be really bringing them into the
All right,
world, huh?
Basic question, Dr. Deans, I'm going to go fast here. Do you have concerns regarding the legitimacy of some of the records you reviewed?
I do.
If this court were to assume that the June 1st HCG test actually came from Laura, would that confirm pregnancy?
It's the best Gatorade.
No.
What is the medical standard of care to confirm a pregnancy?
That would have to be either serial HCGs showing a trend over time, or a pregnancy test and or an ultrasound.
And no
or
red
visual
40.
exam that confirms an intrauterine pregnancy.
And we had none of that here, correct?
Correct.
All right, I'm showing you exhibit number 28. Are you aware that that's the ultrasound from Laura? Are you aware that that was altered?
Yes, I am.
Laura claimed it was anonymous and from Planned Parenthood. Any thoughts about that?
Patients cannot be seen anonymously at Planned Parenthood.
Excuse me.
Planned Parenthood, having been a former medical director of Planned Parenthood, PPFA, which is our national guidelines, require identification at the time of the visit to confirm the identity of the patient. The patient can be seen anonymously.
Thank you. Laura claimed she was pregnant with twins. Anything you reviewed in any of the medical records confirmed that Laura was pregnant with twins?
No.
Laura claimed that the twins were boy and girl gender. Anything that you reviewed that confirms that?
No.
Do you recall reviewing the October 16th HCG test? I think it had a 100 or 3-digit HCG level on it.
I do.
Are you aware that there's actually 2 other versions of that exact same test in circulation?
I've heard that.
If I told you there was another version with 1,000 times higher HCG level, would that cause you concern?
Yes, it would.
Are there alternate causations for a positive HCG test as we have here?
Yes, sir.
Did you review well, I'm going to skip over the photos. Did you review Dr. Medshill's report?
I did.
You're aware that Laura first claimed she miscarried in September or October, and then the photos that are in the report indicate that
Yes,
it happened
Milano.
in the 3rd week of July.
Yes, Milano.
Pursuant to Dr. Medshill's report, he concluded, well, you agree with his conclusion that the data here warrants that Laura was 99% pregnant?
No, I do not agree with that assessment.
Do you agree with Dr. Medshill that the record confirms, this is from his report, a May 20th conception date?
Absolutely not. There's no data to confirm a conception date at this point that would require an ultrasound dating of a pregnancy.
Professor Deans, thank you.
Lauren, I wish you had them camera angles. So let's get some zooms. Let's get some pans. Let's get some tilts. Like,
Dr. Deans,
I'm really
reviewed
appreciating it.
records that showed that Laura had HCG in her blood October 16, 2023. You familiar with those?
Milano, this
Where did
girl
that
is
HCG come?
wrapped up in court
I'm
cases,
from
okay?
Vegas.
She got like 10
And
court
your report
cases.
mentioned some of those sources. I'm just going to ask
So,
about
real
the
ghetto shit.
exogenous
Really
injection. I'm
fucking
assuming
ghetto,
that's a
okay?
way of saying that, and sticking yourself with a needle.
Correct. Exogenous would be an
Real
person.
ghetto ass shit.
And do you have any
Always in
information?
court.
Have you seen any records that suggest that that happened here?
I don't.
Okay. Heterophilic antibodies, which I did a little reading on that, some sort of allergic response, it sounds like maybe.
Correct. An autoimmune response can be triggered by exposure.
Going to court for multiple
Um,
baby daddies is very
Okay.
ghetto.
But the
Okay.
fact that Laura tested
This is
po-
very
negative
ghetto
for pregnancy on November
behavior.
14th would appear to be inconsistent with at least the heterophilic antibody theory. Would you agree with that?
It depends on the type of test. A pure and pregnancy test might be positive, but a blood test could still be positive. It depends on the assessment and the level of HCG at the time of the test.
Okay, and I think Dr. Medchill said, and I think you also said, that cancer can cause elevated HCG levels. That's a fact, right?
Correct.
And have you seen any records to suggest that Laura has cancer presently or that she did in 2023?
Not presently. No, I know there's a discussion of a prior history of ovarian cancer.
I understand that, but regarding 2023, if Laura had cancer in 2023 that caused positive pregnancy, false positive pregnancy tests between May and October, when the last one was, how can you explain her testing negative in November?
I mean, I think it makes that less likely unless you have treatment in the meantime.
And another option that you wrote about in your report was something called familial HCG syndrome as being a way that someone could test positive, have HCG in their blood, not from pregnancy, correct?
Correct.
You know how rare that is?
Very rare.
I read that it was about 10 cases on the planet. Does that sound about right to you? And again, if Laura had familial HCG syndrome, that would explain some false positive tests in the middle of the year, but it
So
wouldn't
she's
explain
one
negative.
out of 10 people on the planet this has happened to?
Dr.
Allegedly.
Deans, in your report, you talked about objective evidence of pregnancy. On the first page in particular, you said that the only objective evidence of pregnancy is a Banner Urgent Care serum quantitative HCG from, well, I think that's actually the statement, that October 16th wasn't a Banner, but there was a serum HCG.
Milano, I said
referred to
the
that as
same
objective evidence of
thing.
pregnancy. Is that true?
5150.
Correct.
I
And
said
in
the
absence
same
of some other
thing.
explanation, cancer, familial, or tranquilizer, whatever. In the absence of some other explanation, you would agree, and Dr. Medchill, I think, said, that HCG test from October 16th is objective evidence of pregnancy, right?
It is objective evidence, and one of the possibilities of that objective evidence is correct.
Right. And if a woman is pregnant, regardless of how much or how little prenatal care she has, she's still pregnant, right?
If they are pregnant, yes.
I mean, a woman could be pregnant and have no ultrasound until the day the baby comes out, and she's still pregnant, right?
Yes, and the objective data would put a baby coming out of her body.
Right. And Dr. Deans, you worked, or your report and your resume indicated that you worked at Planned Parenthood for a while.
That's correct.
In that capacity, did you counsel women regarding terminating
Someone
their
said she
pregnancy?
smiled at horse
And
tranquilizers.
just for the record, I'm strongly pro-choice, strongly Planned Parenthood. If a woman was choosing or was thinking about choosing to terminate her pregnancy, why would she have prenatal care?
Y'all can hear me when I talk, right?
Oftentimes,
Like, can you hear me now?
to confirm their pregnancy before they make their
If I
decision
talk
about
over them?
having it.
But in a lot of states, I'm out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mother
No
Mary
regret. Thank you,
syndrome.
Professor. We appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Yes, this has been immaculate consent. This is the pick me.
No.
This
All right.
is why you're not a pick
If you'd like
me.
to disconnect, you may. If you'd like to stay and listen, you absolutely.
Thank you very much.
This is the pick me mentality, okay? I made videos about this. She's such a pick me. She's like, I am immaculately conceiving, you know? I am the most fertile. Every guy that fucking talks to me impregnates me.
Participate, sign the pre-trial statement that we provided to Judge Mata.
This is a pick me
Are those
mentality,
statements
dude.
inaccurate?
When it gets down to
Are we
it,
asking the court
when
in
you
light of
really
the
go
very
deep,
limited
it's
time
a
today to
pick me at
our
heart.
pre-trial statement as part of your testimony.
All right, we gotta pay attention now.
How
We
did
gotta
you,
pay
Laura?
attention.
Laura targeted me on LinkedIn.
Oh, targeted.
She asked to do real estate. We ended up exchanging contact info. She became flirtatious, sent me a provocative photo. I told her to come over, and it was all homes the next day.
Did you have sex with Laura?
Absolutely not. I have said time and time again, she performed oral on me twice. That's it.
You heard two other versions about what
She
happened?
performed that
Absolutely.
Gawk 3000.
Rape by me. She also claims I was too high to remember what happened that day.
I'm going to repeat what you just said. She claimed she was raped by you and that you were too high to remember.
That's correct.
Were you too high to remember?
That's incorrect. I remember every single thing from that night.
Did you rape her?
Not.
When she
Stated
said
that
R,
had gave
I
you oral
was
sex
done.
twice that evening, is that correct?
I was already
Where did
done,
you
but I
rape?
was officially.
What happened?
All
the
right,
second
we'll
time?
talk later.
You ran straight to that.
I should take notes.
Were your fluids ever down there, as Laura has claimed? What happened the next day?
The next day, we went to a house and I told her that I crossed the professional boundary. And I told her that that was a one-time thing. It would not happen again. She became very agitated at that point, was crying, and asked me to give her a chance.
But hang on for a second. Came over to your house, gave you oral sex twice. The next day, you told her you weren't interested in her.
That's correct. I rejected her, yes.
And then 4 days later, what happened?
4 days later, she started making claims that she could possibly be pregnant.
But hang on. Did your penis ever go inside her accidentally, inadvertently, or anything like that?
No.
You're a public figure. You're the bachelor. That's why everyone's watching today. Are you embarrassed to say who you've had sex with lately?
I think I'm the last person to lie about who I've been.
Were you? Did you have penile vaginal sex whatsoever?
No, absolutely not.
Has that been your story since day one?
Penile vag. You know what? Let me not repeat
Exhibit
that.
Number 3. Put that up on the screen. Thanks, Isabel. Did Laura start communicating with
You know that meme?
more after she said she thought she was pregnant in 4 days?
Yes, nonstop. She sent me over 500 emails and text messages. 13 different
Guys,
numbers.
please give a like on the
13
stream.
numbers?
Help me out.
How many messages?
Over 500.
Exhibit 3, is that a sample of those texts and emails that were shown to Judge Gelketsis in the conjunction against harassment hearing from November 2nd, 2023?
Yes.
Move to admit Exhibit 3, and Judge already took notice. Watch.
I assume no objection.
No objection.
At some point, did she start calling your mom?
She started reaching out to my parents. She started reaching out to my work organizations, and she started reaching out to people, women that I talked to in the past. She went for everybody.
Was she claiming anything in particular?
She was claiming that I was a deadbeat. That's not supporting her pregnancy.
Ghetto.
The deadbeat was not
Ghetto.
supporting her through her pregnancy of what?
This is ghetto ratchet behavior.
Did she reach out to the Sun magazine?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you what gender?
Ghetto ratchet behavior.
Did she ever tell you, drawing your attention to some motions that were filed for purposes of attorneys?
This is hood
Filed a motion to
behavior.
communicate on August 8th, a motion to compel communication on August 23rd, and August 29th, a few days later, an expedited motion to communicate, and then shortly thereafter, she filed an order of protection. Correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that she filed orders of protection against two other individuals in the back of the courtroom, correct?
That's correct.
They are on the left.
Yes. Well, my right, but yes.
Thank you. Greg Gillespie and I'm going to look at exhibit number 7. Is that a true and accurate copy of email communication between you and Laura from July 1st, 2023?
Absolutely.
You received it? And she sent it? You testified with Ms. Rita from my office, with Mr. Gingras, denying that emails exchanged were from her. She seems to be blaming Greg Gillespie for taking the email. Remember her testimony?
Yes.
This is hood rat behavior, dude.
She's actually sent you emails with videos attached to them, and you've had, and you responded back to them,
That's
correct?
correct.
All right. Specifically, exhibit number 7. I think you stated that it's
Yes,
an accurate
zoom
copy.
in.
I think the caption, I'm going to try to read it on the caption.
She got to use that focus ring.
The final opportunity to consider abortion. You remember getting this from Laura?
Yes.
Move to exhibit 7.
And you know what? I spoke to Lauren last night on Instagram.
Yeah, no,
I should have told her, listen,
further
call
down
me
that
if you
email,
need help with the
this is a little
camera,
awkward,
with the
but
stream.
further down in that email on from July 1st, which was weeks after
This is a
alleged
lot of technical
encounter,
shit here
Laura references her
that you gotta know.
vagina. Why is that?
You notice the front is in focus, but the back is out of focus.
I might change my mind. Her stating that I never penetrated her, never had penetrated sex.
Wait, the exhibit that the court just has Laura saying that her vagina was tight, as if you hadn't been in there before?
That is correct.
Well, had you been in there before?
No.
All right. She also sent you
This is so ghetto.
talking about wanting to have sex with you during a week, trial week. What was that about?
She said that she was the safest person to have sex with. She's already pregnant.
Hang on for a second. She told you she wanted to have sex with you because she's already pregnant?
That's correct.
How did you feel when you read that email?
I'm sick. My stomach, all of this is making me sick.
You feel like she was trying to trap you?
Absolutely.
You heard the testimony with Dr. Neidigh concerning that Laura was on IVF medication trying to get pregnant. Is that consistent with those concerns?
Yeah, I believe that she was taking medication.
I'm going to show you.
Bro, that's something Sexy Red would say.
You heard my question.
My
Dr. Neidigh,
coochie
about IVF.
so tight, you gotta get in there. Like, that's literally stuff that freaking Sexy Red would say.
Absolutely.
Suki Hana, these female rappers, this is ghetto.
Exhibit number 6
This is very ghetto.
28, 2023. Is that a true and accurate copy of the correspondence with Laura? You remember reading this? You remember reading it on June 28th when you received it?
Yes.
And the title of this, can you read the title of this out loud for the court?
Having the baby if I don't hear back tonight.
Having the baby if I don't hear back tonight. Move to exhibit 6.
Bro, it's so
I'm
satisfying
gonna show you
to
exhibit
hear
11.
these
Laura sent you
things.
ultrasounds during this time period. Is exhibit 11.
Having the babies, I don't hear back tonight.
Yes.
She's going to claim that she didn't send this to you, but how do you know this came from Laura?
Because I was interacting with from that same email address. I also took a screen to record showing that it was from her email address, and that's where all my other communications come from her.
On exhibit number 11, this one says, the caption on it says, ultrasound video proof, correct?
That's correct.
And the signature block on there in the picture is the exact same signature block and picture from another email, which is also not favorable to Laura, which she claims is not hers, correct? Move to exhibit 11.
No objection.
On exhibit 11, well, do you know where the video came from on exhibit number 11?
Yeah, from a YouTube video from 7 years ago.
YouTube video from 7 years ago? On that, this is the one that says smile, right? Okay.
Yeah. No, this was a different one.
Okay, so how many are there? How many ultrasounds have you seen?
3.
Okay. This one, I think, on the caption says, and here's my 100 million% real ultrasound.
100 million%.
Remember, I don't know if my math is right. You remember
It sounds like,
that?
didn't Jodi Arias say when they asked her if she wanted to kill her husband, she said like 5 million%, 5,000% sure she wanted her husband to get killed.
Yes, I saw this from Ronnie Bob.
Okay,
I don't know if it was Jodi Arias. It was one of them ladies that killed their husband or tried to.
But it's actually admitted as an exhibit by Laura through her counsel at the February 2nd, 2024 deposition of you, correct?
Correct.
All right, that video deposition of you, have you seen that recently?
Yes, I have.
Where did you see the video deposition of you?
It was posted on YouTube by either her counsel or herself.
Wait, Laura or her counsel posted the video deposition?
That's correct.
How many paternity tests did you take, Clayton?
3.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 36. You know what? I'm going to skip past that. That was the Dr. Ned.
You could tell Woodnick's adrenaline is
How
like
many versions of the
pumping,
of the
like it's going.
testing?
You could tell he's like riled up, dude.
Yeah, the 102.
One with 4 digits on it?
Yes.
A lot of
All right.
attorneys say they feel that when
I'm
they
showing
get
you
to
exhibit number
trial,
46.
it's like a high
Would you
almost.
agree that exhibit number 46, where attorneys, is a log from Mr. Ingres where he acknowledges his client faked some of the science stuff?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to show you, move this along, exhibit number 55. Exhibit number 55 was right before your March 1st deposition. Or right before Laura's March.
Dave got a hat on now.
Actually, did she show up at her earlier deposition?
No, she did.
The court ordered her to come to attend, and we're still waiting for the court to order on the terms.
Correct.
But at her, right before, what happened a day or two related to exhibit 55, a day or two before,
She threatened to extort me for to the tune of $1.4 million in order for me to drop the deposition and the case entirely.
wait a minute. She sent you a letter a day before trying to get out of the deposition?
Yes, correct.
Threatened you with what?
Monetary.
Is everything that we talked about today so far, other than the YouTube videos, more recent? Is everything addressed in prior pleadings already before Judge Mata?
Yes.
Really quickly, for attorney's fees purposes, exhibit number one, let me get in a few exhibits. Exhibit 29, 37, and 59. These are the medical records from pursuant to subpoena from doctors, from Planned Parenthood, Dr. McCool, and Dr. Hickey. Move to the next. All the correct that, sorry. 29, 37, and 59.
Not to those. Did we talk about Exhibit 54 yet?
Hold on 1 second. 29, 37, and what was the one?
59.
59 are received. We'll talk about that one after council.
And then I'll go back to this exhibit number 55, which is the letter that Laura sent you, suing you to sue you for $1.4 million before the deposition. Move to the minute.
Now that one I'll object to. That's a Rule 408 settlement offer, Your Honor. He's offering to prove that the claim's not valid. That's absolutely inappropriate.
Judge, just
Over objection, the court's going to receive it for the purposes of attorney's fees only. Counsel, you have run out of time. You're out of here. Okay, so counsel, what?
Oh, he looked her right in the eyes. He looked her right in the eyes. Oh, shit. He looked her right in the goddamn eyes.
What that means is I'm going to go back and I'm going to review the notes that I took today. I'm going to review the evidence that was admitted to the court, and then everyone will.
Your Honor, as one housekeeping matter, I'm leaving the country tonight. I'm not back until June 28th. If the court issues something that requires a quick response, I'm going to be on a boat, and I may not have.
He's leaving the country tonight.
Either that you grant me some extension if I need it.
Win the court case, or I'm leaving the country tonight.
And I'm sorry, counsel.
Win the court case, or I'm leaving the country tonight.
10th to the 28th will be unavailable.
I should have emailed part of the time, but not all of it.
Can't really be held accountable for that. Any other things? Anything else administrative?
Damn, he gonna leave her
All
out
right, so how
to
this
dry,
will
bro.
go At this point is I have relinquished all security to court security and any underlying law enforcement that are present. They will be escorting people out in the manner that they deem to be appropriate. If there's competing orders against harassment or orders of protection, then we can take those things into consideration. And I just ask that if the people in the gallery are able, any conversation in the hall, that would be great for our other people who are here for other times. All right.
So what? Are we on a mid recess right now? Like, is that what's happening? They said 8:45, so it was 11:45 here when they started. Now it's 2:08. Zam! Okay, so what now? All right. I'm confused. His stream is behind. What's he?
Try our best to stay. No, that's good. That's good right there. We're gonna stay as cool as possible here, so that we don't repeat anything. There's everything in the van, right there. So just hang out with me. Everyone's spilling out. We're gonna get interviews.
Oh, what's that? Okay, anyway. All right, well, I'll just talk to my people. So, you know, I had told them if they wanted to call me, like, hit me up.
Camera to cam link, and I'll be outside. All right, so the super chats. Thank you so much to anyone.
All right. Okay, so basically, like I said, this is very ghetto. This is very hood rat behavior. This is ratchet, okay? Coming to court for multiple baby daddies, multiple lawsuits, okay? Saying my coochie's so tight, you gotta get in there. You gotta feel how tight I am. Like, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's real, like, you know, sexy red, like, Sukihana, like Nicki Minaj, like really ratchet, ghetto behavior. So we just have to call this out for what it is. Oh, wait, hold up. What's going on here?
At multiple moments, two different expert witnesses, one a practicing doctor, professor who Gingras now is questioning their expertise. after delivering
I
3,000
can't believe
babies.
so many people
Would you
came
think,
out.
a female judge will factor in a female expert gynecologist versus a retired male gynecologist? Do you think there's any
Welcome, my friends. It seems as though we are getting to the end of the road for former Trump propagandist Steve Bannon.
Wait, the
lost
live
their stream here.
ended?
So I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry. Another thing was playing in my ear. So some audience thinks that the judge may have asked these questions, and it's not too often. I don't think that you see a judge looking to elaborate past what like cross-examine would say, but wondering
The
why.
stream ended.
You know, basically just trying to get
She
more
coming
information
back?
before her decision. Wild stuff. Where's
Aw,
everyone coming
man.
from? What part of New York? I saw Boston earlier.
Someone came from New
Locals in the
York?
house.
No
Locals
way.
are dressed accordingly. The rest of us are. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of gratitude that Dr. Mitchell wasn't on the receiving end. I caught my own baby. I wasn't taking any chances there. Gingras is leaving. We wish. He might not have Wi-Fi. My hope was that he doesn't pack enough underwear. You know how much that can suck. Maybe he forgets his shampoo and has frizzy hair. That would be fantastic. So we're gonna wait for people to spill out. Feel free to stay.
Wait,
under
I'm
the shade
confused.
as
Like,
best you
it's
can.
over now?
How's the frame and everything? Are we okay? Yeah, sure. Steve, what do you think? Reality, Steve. Were you in the spill out room?
Yeah, it was fascinating to watch that whole thing. Like, we're talking about, well, Laura got the crocodile tears going, like, oh, we need to do this. There they go.
Sure, they're coming out right
wave
now.
to them?
All right, so let's see.
Should we wave
First,
to
can you
them?
possibly pull the camera out and just see what we're seeing here? Just pull it and hang left here. We've got David
Buddy.
Gingras, the attorney for
Buddy.
Laura Owens
Wave,
here.
just wave at us.
Leaving, heading on vacation, much deserved. One of the witnesses, Jan Owens.
Oh, she's getting police escort. She's getting into the police
escort,
car.
Straight into the police car here.
Nice.
We're getting citizen photography
her.
happening over here.
Oh, it's over?
And she was on the rails getting cross-examined by one Deandra when starts crying, and they get the recess in. Absolute
Great
wild,
timing.
Absolute wild.
I guess they only had
mentioned
2
back
hours.
in October that she faked her HCG test because I was harassing her. Mentioned that back in October, I was harassing her, and that's why her HCG test was faked. Didn't mention why she faked everything else. Clayton, not one to fake anything, as far as we know.
You know what I was wondering? You know, when they had when Laura was on the stand, she said, no sonogram, never sent a sonogram to anybody. No sonogram to anybody. And I was like, wait a second.
Oh, they're still here. Okay, yeah. So
Sent a sonogram to me.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
that's
Let us
right.
see.
That's right.
She said on the stand.
Well, he's saying
I still have it on my phone.
She's saying that that's fake. She's
No, but
saying
she
the
said
son-
it to Clayton. She said any sonogram was, and then they said, did you ever send a sonogram to anybody? And she said no.
Bring Steve in. Bring him
Yeah,
back.
and wouldn't
All
have
right,
cast my
we have an
email.
Uber. We have
So-
an Uber black. Very nice. And the mom is getting into the car. Let's pray that the air
Deuces.
conditioning's off in their
Deuces.
car. And they are now, again, those of us. I don't know, folks. Believes you guys are all part of a bully group here. A cult
It's
of people
done?
looking for
I
truth.
don't
know if you
understand.
ask
What
me,
the
it's
hell is
just
supposed
a
to
bunch
happen
of-
today then?
No. He doesn't earn my platform. He can comment on the channel like he did
No,
yesterday.
it's Gingras. Remember?
Yeah.
But it's funny. Woodnick
Woodnick
was
called
calling
it
Gingras the whole
Hold
time. It was
on.
awesome.
Yeah, that was a tough one. So there it is. Wish there could have been 7 more hours of testimony.
I know.
The only thing she had going for her was that the time would stop. I mean, he opens and says, "I have 15 seconds," and then he does 3 minutes of nonsense stuff that was already ruled on.
I had a feeling that Gingras's whole first open with Laura, going over a bunch of stuff, was just to kill time
He's
because he
an
knew he was going to do
absolute
it.
fraud. He
Yeah.
claims he wants free speech when it pays, and when it doesn't, he wants to silence it.
Yeah.
Absolute fraud behavior. I don't know who's got less credibility at this point, a retired doctor who told us all to our face without seeing any evidence
Yeah.
that she must have been pregnant.
Never met Laura before
they didn't even
today.
mention she could have drank HCG, let alone, you can't prove a negative, right? So he says he hasn't seen any evidence that she ingested HCG,
Yeah.
and yet we don't know where it came from. But 1 week after swallowing 2 blowjobs,
Yeah.
she claims she thinks
Pregnant.
she feels pregnant there.
Yeah.
Audience
Clayton's
thinks
case.
MedChill, her expert helped Clayton's side based on the cross-examination. That's right. Dr. MedChill, when asked about RavGen, which the information from RavGen has backed up Clayton here, from everything I know, and let me know from anyone if you have any other thoughts here, if you were pregnant, fetal DNA does not go away. It doesn't hide. It doesn't go anywhere in your bloodstream. Even if you miscarry. Sometimes for there it is. Oh, we have matching hats. Nice style. Very good. She mentioned today that
First time we've ever heard that.
First time, new information. She might have been in Los Angeles. She was probably trying to serve me, and she swung by Planned Parenthood. She was denied both. Absolute ridiculous. She says she faked a name. She admits she's okay admitting to lying as long as it serves as a future lie.
Yeah.
She's the Ponzi scheme of liars. Every lie leads to 10 new lies.
Well, that's what I said.
She's Bernie Madoff.
What do they always say? The
abortion.
cover-up is worse than the lie. Her cover-ups are
Absolutely.
killing her original lies.
Absolutely. And again, on behalf of Clayton, who may or may not speak, I don't believe he's going to speak live. He might join us. He might join
lawyers,
us.
I think.
Oh, lawyers are coming up. We're going to lie here.
I didn't take the tests in Mission Viejo, the Planned Parenthood. It was LA.
Yeah. She teleported to Los Angeles.
Yeah. And that's the first we've ever heard of LA. We always heard Mission Viejo. We always heard Orange County. And then she said no.
And this is because in Mission Viejo, they knew that wasn't the type of ultrasound taken.
Yeah.
We'll get a nice little.
Never gave her fake name. The other big one was Dr. Dean's testifying, saying you can't go to Planned Parenthood anonymously, which is what Laura has claimed from the very beginning.
And Dr. Dean was the head of the department.
They're coming out behind you, dude. They're behind
you. Couldn't get a
you.
more expert
Look who's
opinion on the
behind
matter.
you.
Yeah.
We have buttons and stickers floating around. Help yourself to anything. To be honest, they might be on the catering table. They're on the. Could you bring them over here? They're not there. If there's any, just pass them out.
Dave, I have some big news.
Breaking news.
According to Laura Owens, my HCG test of 8 means I am pregnant.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new pregnancy found on the spot right there. I know. Anything, and she went through menopause 6 years ago. Groundbreaking science. Groundbreaking science is happening over here, live on the spot. Any other thoughts about what you saw? Okay, here we go.
Court reporters look on her face when she lied about going in and being anonymous, and then she said she went under another name. The court reporter goes,
I did not. So we're saying the court reporter.
It was the first lie she told.
We have Clayton Echard being escorted out with a police escort.
What else MedChill did when she said she went anonymously? He was going like this behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Clayton for sticking up for truth.
Clayton Echard, everyone.
We love you, buddy. Good job up there, Clayton.
I missed him
Looking
walking
very nice.
by.
Got a good hair. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Clayton for sticking up for truth.
Clayton Echard, everyone.
We love you, buddy. Good job up there, Clayton. Looking very nice. Got a good hair product, good gel. Withholding, it lasting in 120 degrees heat. And now we're going to have the judge and see what the judge says. Absolutely.
And we have no idea when this judgment is coming,
stuff.
right?
Let's see if we can get Mike. Oh my gosh, looking good.
Oh, here we go.
We're in frame here, ladies and gentlemen. Mike.
Yeah.
Maracini here. Come in a little bit.
Bring him in a
Let's
little
get in
bit
the
more.
shade here. You look great.
I just want to say that I would have never have come forward without the support of everybody. I was terrified for years from her.
Oh, wow.
And everybody's support is the only reason why I came forward. So I just hope you know that. I hope everybody here knows that. The people online, it's like the only reason why I came forward.
We appreciate it so much.
Of course.
And also, what did we learn today? Never sell your laptop. Never sell a laptop. Thanks for everything. You know, you didn't have to come. You didn't have to come. Really. Oh, hey.
Tons of applause here for the legal team. Lots of applause for the legal team.
Clayton's parents are here. Fantastic support system. Got a gift from Clayton's parents for the baby. Baby gave us a gift at the live show.
What was it?
Got some nice shorts.
Onesies?
A couple of onesies, some shorts, and some other stuff. So yeah.
Nice.
Who did we just see though? The law team walked by. Is that who it was?
All
All right. So Mike Maracini says he wouldn't have come forward without folks like you guys who believed him. What is that? It just goes to show how important community can be when it comes to things like this. A man who was terrorized, a restraining order that still exists.
Yeah.
The police were called on that man that we just saw.
Yeah.
That man that was so fortunate that people now believed him.
Yeah.
And it's not like they wouldn't have, but a Google search is a Google search.
Yeah.
And that's going to live with him.
The court videographers are here. Let's give them a round of
round of
applause.
applause for the court videographers.
Videographers are here.
Doing the Lord's work. Everyone, make sure you go support Lauren on her YouTube channel. We'll link to all of that. They did a fantastic job.
Great job by Lauren and company.
Yeah, Judge Mata's dad was in the court with us.
Judge Mata's
He was
dad.
in the court with us.
No way.
In the side room where we were. Judge Mata's dad was sitting there.
Judge Mata's dad?
I
What?
said, Harry, that's really nice. You want to be here to support your daughter? He said, oh, no, I've been hearing about this. I'm here for the circus.
What?
Hold on, we don't need a mistrial.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could get them some scones.
Yeah, scones. If there's any food, if anyone wants any food or drinks, it's on the other side. But
Whoa,
have a cold water or
whoa!
whatever's over
She
there.
should have said
There's also
that.
stickers
She
and
should have
things if anyone
said
wants
that. She shouldn't have said that.
anything. We just heard. There you go. Hey, that's. I'm sure he was. I mean, he was probably a judge. I feel like it runs in the family. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
He was like, his wheels were turning, trying to think of what he could say that wouldn't be like giving it away.
Sure. And Judge Mata has indicated from everything I've seen that she's really curious to get to the truth. She's extended how far she wants the medical records.
Yeah.
Again, the records that never showed up. Not one record that Laura signed for in her HIPAA release showed up.
Yeah.
Only the HCG test she claimed she altered because of my harassment. Back in October, 1 week into this coverage, she claimed it because it wasn't that I was harassing her. It's that I didn't believe her.
Yeah.
And they didn't believe her, so she changed the records.
That's why she wouldn't come on my podcast, because I was taking Clayton's side, and unless you take her side, it's just a lie.
She's a wild fraud. And she's only gotten away with this because nobody was paying attention.
Yeah.
And the buck stops here. It's not going to happen again. Oh, we got buttons here. Look at this. Pass them around. There's some classic buttons in there. Here, take that and pass that around. I didn't make them, but
hey, you remember the last thing that what's Woodnick's the one who
Isabel?
Yeah, Isabel. You remember the last thing she said to Laura on stand?
Oh no, that was Deandra. Deandra was the cross.
Yeah. You remember the last thing she said to her on the stand?
No.
She basically laid it out and said, final thing, Miss Owens, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically said, under oath, the media is here, everybody's covering this. Under oath.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can you say that you were not pregnant by Clayton Echard? She said that is absolutely 100% incorrect. She gave her every chance to take everything back. Not that we would be surprised. I didn't think Laura was going to sit there under oath and say, yeah, you know what?
Indeed.
I thought if
I was never pregnant.
If she would have done that, it would have been a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Before this whole circus. What do we
Hell
have?
no.
Megan Fox.
This is
here.
one of
Megan
those
Fox is
situations
out.
where.
Megan, come chat.
This is one of those situations. Oh wait.
Oh, is she?
Can I turn this down?
We got Megan Fox from the
like an Instagram live?
I'm not sure.
This is one of those situations where you've lied so much that you just don't really go back on it. And I also think that on some level, she believes her lies. She believes her lies. She also believes perhaps that she has a cause bigger than telling the truth. Like, for her, it's the principle, which is so fucking twisted. But she's above telling the truth because she has a bigger cause here. A bigger cause. What it is, I have no idea. I believe that pick-me, being a pick-me is a mental illness. Like, as someone who is a recovered pick-me, as I talked about on my page, It is a mental disorder. Like, being male-centered, being male-obsessed and male-identified is a mental disorder. Okay? And this has nothing to do with liking men or dating men or anything, because your girl dates men. Grew up boy crazy, very boy obsessed, very male identified, male centered. Okay, this is all comes from being a pick me, and then of course, childhood trauma and stuff like that.
You cannot communicate with your client on the stand. That's a no-no.
I tell you what, Gingras, it's one thing to harass us. For him to call the police, what a fucking coward. What
I
a
know.
fucking coward he is, because he knows damn well the truth. Okay, so it's one thing to argue your arguments in court, but to pull that bullshit as a free speech lawyer, what a crock of shit from this man. What a weak fucking man.
You know what's worse? He didn't even call court security, and there was the entire
had
SWAT
no
team
other
here.
card to play.
He called
He said,
911, Dave.
Yeah.
Let me just
911.
Yeah.
Court security told them that he was allowed to
throw
be
this
here.
one in there too. Like,
They told
he
me.
just
He's an
was
absolute
throwing
fraud.
anything at the wall, dude.
Oh, the
Anything at the
Fiverr
wall.
button. Look at
There
this.
it is. We have Fiverr
I'm
buttons
gonna
here.
put a Fiverr button on.
Yeah, so he's, like I said, he's going, all we can wish for his vacation is that the seas are choppy and that he gets diarrhea or something from the court food. Okay, so that's it. Did we have Gillespie come out yet? Must have. Will you see if there is a chance that someone jumps on, they'll pop in. I don't know if we're going to get anybody, but I just
I love it. Thank you for saving me a button.
you'll see if it
Very
pops
good.
in. Yeah.
I'll see if anybody.
What
pops
was the
in.
question?
No, we may get some comments from people. I'm not sure. I won't stay live for too long. But the Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles, that was a big moment.
That was huge. She never said that before. Oh my gosh. So Laura now is claiming that she went to the Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles under a fake name, which is another new
I
thing.
wish they asked her what the name was.
I know, I did too. I wish that they had.
She didn't go. I'd love to know. Jane Medchill or
Did
something.
they say
she
you
would-
couldn't do it under a fake name?
Okay.
Did they ask you
This
the
is
fake
a
name?
good question.
Oh, okay. She refused.
This
the
is a
fake
good
name. Oh, we have a
question.
question.
The crowd wants to know, was there an audible noise in the court that made Laura start having her tantrum, right? And yes, there was a very quiet, muffled laughter.
Give us the actual volume.
When it was like really like people just went like this at the same time.
I heard that the who was in the spillover room? I heard they were openly laughing at Gingras.
Oh, that's funny.
Just
I bet that was fun in there. So the spillover room was the place to be because you didn't have to behave yourself. But in the court, but here's the thing though. The judge was harder on
home.
Laura than she was on
behavior
the
at home.
gallery. Laura interrupted the judge, and the judge was like, "Oh, no, I'm still speaking. You be quiet." And then she turned to the gallery and she went, "Let's just keep extra comments to a minimum." Which is funny because there are supposed to be no extra comments, and it was funny that she wasn't like, "I'll have you hauled out of here." But the only reason why people laughed, and it was like one of those moments that always happens in court where just everyone laughs. And it was because what was it that she said exactly? Oh, the minor thing. Everyone started singing minor perjury.
yeah.
She admitted that the
Having the
lie
baby
that she
was-
told was a minor thing
Yeah.
in court.
Yeah.
Wasn't minor.
Minor misstatements.
Somebody said an objection, and the judge either said sustained or overruled, and Laura acted like she didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, Laura was playing dumb.
Never been in court.
Here's the strategy. When Laura was getting on the ropes, it was to get crocodile tears and ask for a recess. They were lockstep, ready to go, because the momentum was just punishing her with facts. Did you want to say anything? We have actual lawyers that were in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Here, you guys talk.
Come on, give us your impressions. She was going crazy when Gingras was making. He was going like this. I shit you not. He did
Just
this.
Megan's sister.
He's going like this. Very large. And then he did this. He went like this. Like a baseball signal.
Baseball signals.
I personally was.
I don't
shocked
remember.
By that. I was shocked by that behavior. If you did that in a courtroom where I practice law, you'd be in so much trouble. That's just not allowed. That
Go
is
back
that.
and look at
Yes,
that.
but
She went and stood in front of him.
She did exactly what you. She did exactly what you should do, which was get between the lawyer who's giving the signals and the person on the stand. However, A lawyer giving signals to his client on the stand during cross-examination is outrageous. It should never be allowed. I think the only reason why they didn't object
This
to
way.
that is because, sorry.
Your
Which
camera's
way?
over there.
Oh, hi. The only reason they didn't object is because the timing. They had no time. So they had to just get their stuff out and not waste time dealing with the carnival barker.
How long do you think this trial should have taken?
I mean, there was so much
That's
evidence.
exactly why.
Was the evidence put in originally, like, so does the judge already have a lot of that evidence? So, I mean, a trial with that much evidence, it should take a lot longer than 2 hours.
Oh, the stand up and spin was ridiculous.
That was super weird, but
As
nobody
if
objected, so.
she's so tiny, so she what does that show?
It shows nothing.
It shows nothing.
It shows maybe you're on extreme weight loss drugs. Yeah, right. Right.
Extreme weight loss.
You know what
drugs.
else? You know what else was a huge bomb? The Clozapine. The Clozapine was a huge bomb.
But he didn't present any
Antipsychotics.
records that she's on that, did he?
Clozapine.
No, I don't know. They're in the medical records, which are sealed. Why do you think he brought it up? Yes. Yes, I know. There's been a whole lot of fertility stuff.
Fertility specialist?
She said she had fertility people on her
If she's
podcast,
saying
and she did some kind of
Clozapine-
test that showed she was fertile. The whole thing is so screwed. I mean, it's just
If she's
crazy.
saying clozapine,
Well, she didn't give
is
any
the
records that showed that,
antipsychotic.
but I think that's up to her to turn over.
It can
records,
treat
isn't it? Or give the
schizophrenia.
names of doctors where she's getting
It
this.
can
stuff.
also lower the risk of
most powerful
suicidal
part of the
behavior in
cross-examination
patients
of
with
the-
schizophrenia or
her
schizoaffective
expert
disorder.
was when Greg said you didn't look at any of her primary care records.
Well, they did say
no
that,
idea what she was on.
borderline.
You don't know.
Listen,
You don't know
I'm
what
not
medicine she
a
was on.
clinician.
You don't know anything about her
but
history. You
people
don't know anything.
speculated narcissism, borderline personality, possibly some kind of schizo
Right.
something.
Where did Alex go?
On the spectrum.
Oh, there she is.
Remember,
Oh
we
my
talked
gosh.
about this in
Alex,
my
come
"Why
here.
Would Someone Fake a Pregnancy" video.
Alex,
But borderline means borderline
What
psychotic.
was
So
your experience of taking photographs in the courtroom? How was that for you?
I was very nervous.
Stand over here so the camera can
I was
see you.
very nervous to take pictures because I didn't want to get yelled at by that man.
Yeah.
At all. He was like really, really, really
Vincent.
pounding me. And I just wanted to do a good job.
What
and I
frame
hope
were you? Did you get some close-ups?
I shoved the camera all the way into her nose a couple
Maybe you
times.
show you some photos for.
You still see some crusty Claytons in there?
Ew. No, I hope not. Oh, that's terrible.
Well,
I hope I got a good one.
I'm
for
sure you did.
At least one thumbnail.
I'm sure
I
you
really
did.
tried
You did great.
in my profession.
You did so good.
Antipsychotics. Okay, so because I Googled, I was like, is it possible that people with borderline personality disorder take antipsychotics?
What's it called? A nail style? What's it
quick,
called?
They go to the same NCBI-NLMNIH.gov. You guys know that journal that publishes like studies and stuff. Antipsychotics are widely used in borderline personality disorder because they are believed to be effective in improving impulsivity, aggression, anxiety, and psychotic
End
symptoms.
of October. No mention of that.
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah,
believe
it's something that people
someone,
use.
like a doctor, who
Antipsychotic
has
prescribed to
a real,
people with personality disorders.
Has all that science, and I love that wouldn't it question him on science.
Yeah.
You're a doctor. You're a scientist.
Don't you need her medical record?
This kind of sounds crazy, but like I low key know a lot about schizophrenia. I mean, I told you guys I'm a hobbyist. I'm a psychology hobbyist, and schizophrenia, schizoaffective, schizotypal, like this whole spectrum I was on like a month-long bender of just non-stop schizophrenia studying, like just on my hobby, studying, watching videos, reading studies, like all kinds of shit. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a clinician. I can't diagnose anybody. It's not possible. But for someone like her, for someone who exhibits the behaviors like her, I was thinking more like that sounds more like borderline with like narcissism traits, like mixed in there. I wouldn't have, because there is clearly a level of delusional thinking, and like I said, for her, I believe that she believes her lies, and I believe that she also thinks that she's above the truth, that she has a bigger cause, that she's willing to lie until the very fucking end about it. This is just my personal opinion. Again, I am not diagnosing. I hate the fact that I have to make all these caveats, so I'm just trying to talk, but I'm not diagnosing anyone. I'm not a clinician again, but I would not have pegged for schizo anything. I mean, now don't get me wrong, there are people.
Remember when I was like, I'm sure that they are talking about it every time a motion comes in? Well, guess what? I went up to the clerk's desk to get the video footage that they do from the court, and she was looking at me funny, and I'm filling out the form, and she goes, I know who you are.
The infamous.
She goes, I know who you are. I said, you do? She goes, I'm not supposed to say that.
Whoa.
And then a police officer. Now, there were 2 police officers in the room the whole time in the courtroom, and they were really into it.
I mean, we have FBI that knows our names because of this.
This is so weird. One of the officers asked me for where can I find this on YouTube?
Oh my gosh. The algorithm will get you there. Don't worry.
No names, not giving anybody's names.
See,
I want to thank to the audience on video. I want to thank those that have helped donate their time today. We've got food here that, for people, and I don't know about you, I'm sweating
that food he bought. He ain't taking it back to Tennessee.
Our generator didn't work, so we've been we've just been trying to keep everything from overheating. But everyone grab some food and everything over there. It's going to go to waste.
The generator worked earlier today, but it just kicked.
Cass says, I want to know how she decided and what proof she had that they were twins. There was no test. Bro, it was from her ass. From the crack of her ass. That's where it came from. That's where it fucking came from. The crack of her ass, okay? Where the sun don't shine. It's the delusion. It's the delusion.
All the super chats.
It's the fucking delusions.
Can you do that?
Does anyone have any thoughts?
Brad?
Now, I used to...
calling me? You thought of him not calling no. Brad?
I think they...
Can you do that? Can you take screenshots?
Okay. Now, I don't know if well, I guess it was delusions. Well, I don't know. Does delusions require actions? Anyway, when I was at the height of my...
I was like, I'm not hearing that.
I'm keeping this up because I don't want to miss anything, but I think it's over.
Jan Black wasn't called. Peabody Award-winning journalist Jan Black was a witness. And again, he said she was going to be a great witness. Of course, she's the one who's paying his bills right now. We'll have to see if she files an appeal if she loses this and how many horses it's going to take to fund that. We'll have to see. I don't know. We'll have to see if anyone else is sued. My guess is there'll be no other lawsuits till this one wraps up. But she's been known to, have multiple.
The fact that her lawyer defended her today and he's literally leaving for the vacation tonight for almost 3 weeks. He said he's going to be on a boat. Do not contact. Do not call me. Do not ask me no questions. Do not ask for no emotional support. Do not. Do not. Phone is off airplane mode. Don't call me. I feel like that is so wild. I feel like that is so fucking wild, dude. Oh my gosh.
Proven to be right the whole time. But it's my guess she's going to be so offended by the truth we've harassed her with, somebody who I've never contacted.
That's a really rough one to do, Dave. Emotional distress.
Yeah, well, look, she lost all that weight. It must have been my fault.
You can't sue the press for emotional distress on a public.
Yeah, first of all, at that weight, you're not having a period. And I'm sorry, I'm not a woman to say that, but
Gingras said she got her period back in November. Now she says she doesn't get them.
Yeah, I remember hearing that she said
In
she
a
didn't
case,
get her period.
yeah.
She doesn't have a period.
Yeah, a lot of things would be open, especially if she was. Yes,
Here's
if she
her
was
deal.
claiming physical health damage. Yeah.
She comes after people in small court. We're no longer small, so it doesn't do her any service. We'll fund that. We'll get Woodnick a nice bonus at the end of the year if he wants to represent us. Or he might be tired from this case, but
Bro,
all of the evidence has been sourced by audience like you and everybody else. Clayton would have never found that ultrasound was
I hope
fraudulent.
that
The one
this is
she's
over.
lying out of her fucking face
Minus
about.
charges from the district attorney's office.
Never found what zero what? The first victim zero. For
That's
months,
true.
she was telling me that all of the files were sealed, so stop looking. We didn't stop looking. We found it all, and that's why a lot of that wasn't brought up, because it was like, you know, what can you argue if you're witness? Now in future
Cat said,
cases,
or her mouth.
I think it would be fair to open the doors to that. Like if she was going to sue
So she
me,
pulled it
it's
from
like,
her
oh,
ass
I'm
or
sorry,
her
I talked
mouth?
about
Yeah,
your public
somewhere
court
down
cases
there.
where I just shared that you committed
She
all those
denied on the
gluten
stand
belly,
today that
from the
she even
gluten
had those
belly.
cases. Did anybody catch that? She said that that she has not been in litigation from 2016 until now. It's like, lady, we have the records. Yeah, that was the one she didn't want to answer, the question.
It's close to 5 a.m. where you are?
She just...
Where are
She
you?
still
In
said
Australia?
No, I wasn't in litigation.
Are you in New
Oh,
Zealand?
is that it? Maybe it was 2015, sure. But yeah, really upsetting. I mean, she doubled
If you're
down on
watching my
the
stream, give a
ARP
thumbs up.
allegation. She doubled down on the anonymous thing, and now there's a fake name out there allegedly in Los Angeles, because we covered the entire other county
How
of
do we
Orange.
not know it? I mean, she you know, some people in the comment section were disappointed that a lot of Gingrich's arguments came from his sourcing them on Twitter.
We said that was going to happen, though.
Look, I just have this to say about that. The collateral damage is the lack of respect that everyone has for someone
you're
that
in
they first knew
Australia. Well,
nothing
thank
about.
you for
Now,
coming
he
through,
might
Kat.
argue, and
Thank
he
you for
might-
coming
he
through
might
to
feel
my
like that's
stream.
okay,
I've
like
never
this
been to
is small enough
Australia,
case,
but
it
I
doesn't
definitely
matter.
want to go there.
But I'm sorry, this is something that I think folks are going to look at him and just.
Are
see
you
a
American? Or are
dirty,
you just
dirty
like,
salesman.
this story is
I mean, that's
crazy
how
and
he comes
I'm
across. I've never seen anybody do
invested.
anything like that in court. He was using like baseball hand signals at her. That is absolutely not allowed.
Kath
If the
Aru.
judge
Oh, it
had
makes
seen
sense
him
now,
do
like
it, and I can't
kangaroo.
believe she didn't, because he was also doing his nose. He was going like this. He was shaking his head. He was doing things. And so we've seen his behavior outside the courtroom, which is appalling. His behavior inside the courtroom is equally appalling. It's so bad when the opposing attorney has to step in front of him to stop that from happening is just bad.
I'm waiting on feedback from just. I'm waiting on feedback to see how everyone feels about this from a legal perspective. But I think, you know, did they pitch a perfect game? Well, no, she didn't buckle and admit to lying, but I think they got what they were expecting, which is
my
they
dog.
fried
Like,
her, they
why-
frazzled her,
why?
and they got her to
Okay,
admit
well,
to
thank
new
you for
fraud.
tuning into.
New-
I'm
new
sorry,
moments
America
of
is ghetto,
being
as you can
anonymous,
see.
and then we
That
have-
HCG
This is
test,
very
she
ghetto,
admitted to
very
Dr.
hood rat
twice.
shit.
I didn't know that.
You
She doesn't
know,
even know what the numbers were.
baby
anymore.
daddies in court,
102,000
court dates,
now? We never even saw
coochie is
that
so
one.
tight.
I think
You know,
that's
text
just
messages and
shitty lawyering
emails.
by
Like,
Gingras, where he
it's very
confused the
ghetto
102
here.
with the
Okay,
130,
you know.
Oh, well, it made it sound like
But
she
anyway,
did
have
it
a good
twice.
night.
Maybe she did. She might have had different drafts she was giving to different people. It's.
I mean,
it's
I
hard
don't
to
know. I mean, there's so many fake documents.
What are you doing tonight? Without specifics. Are you doing the family?
Yeah, we got a barbecue going.
Oh yeah.
Yep, at the family's house. I've sent out a few invitations. I of course include you if you want to come.
I will see how soon I can get all this stuff moved.
If you need help, I'm here to help you.
No, I think we're good. I think we're gonna go. We'll drop this puppy off.
I see that
and,
Bruce is no tie Bruce now. Bruce has gone from suit Bruce to no tie Bruce, and he's looking
I'm in full
he's looking
tilted
cool as a
lawyer
cucumber
mode.
here.
All right. I think that's it for this for following that. I will, maybe come back and make a final video or something like that. I definitely intend to chop up this stream into highlights. I'm not going just yet. I just want to give my let me get comfortable. I just want to give a little rundown of how I saw everything. Hold on.
Sitting here. I think the law team, it feels like they accomplished what they had time to do. Questioning Medchill and make.
Okay, yeah. This is just FOMO. I keep checking back. Anyway, so what I was saying was that about schizo, borderline personality disorder. Like I said, the behaviors, the desperate pick me behavior, like, please pick me, please. I'm just so fertile, like using pregnancy as a means of control. In my other video, I had brought up an article about that, about how hold on, I can probably bring it up to you right now. I mean, we're here, right? Okay. For example, narcissistic women may use pregnancy as power. Okay. Now, you know, I will be the first one to say I am not Captain Save a Man. 100. The last person. I am not a Captain Save a Man. Okay. But that being said, if you do anything as a woman, if you do anything to mess up our progress, to take us back a step, to make us be less believed than anyone else, you have to be held accountable. You have to be held responsible. And we gotta push you out of the herd and say, get her, not us, leave us alone, get that one over there. Like, that's what you have to do. You have to call out the people who mess it up for everybody else, who make us look bad. Okay? There's a problem with people who cannot admit that they're wrong, people who cannot admit that something is wrong. Like, that's a fucking problem, okay? That's another cement block on your brain, okay? I'm gonna keep checking this shit.
And if she doesn't do that, it's going to be an adoption she's going to go have. And so Clayton had to do the putative father registry to say, if she claims adoption, I need to know first. Absolute banana land. And she followed up every single time because she was on her heels, all because she got on her knees, right? That's sorry, guys, but so which one? The medications and antipsychotics that could cause HCG. There was moments there. Yeah, like some people said, they thought maybe MedChill helped Clayton's side by just proving, you know, you can argue all day long that 102 could mean pregnant, but not at 5 months. Not with a full fundal height pregnancy happening.
That
rubbing
was
the baby,
too. They didn't
none of
show
that
the
shit.
pictures.
Yeah, fetal DNA doesn't run away with
I
the
would have
miscarriage.
loved
It's
to see the
offensive.
pictures.
So,
I feel like that was a big thing.
right. MedChill's, the best part of MedChill's testimony was actually providing credibility to RavGen. The best thing he could have done under payroll of Gingras would have been to say, well, it's a new company, who knows? He said, no, this is great technology. It's been around, people use it, it's credible. Well, that good technology said little to no fetal DNA. How are we doing on the chat? How many folks are in the...
Okay, so Maricopa.
We have over 5,000
includes
people watching,
Phoenix.
so we're going to keep
and
discussing
Scottsdale.
this.
Right, Scottsdale
it is our biggest live stream
outside
by
of
at least 2x ever.
Phoenix.
Yeah, where's Lauren? Hey, Lauren, you want to jump on? Want to jump on?
We're going to try and get Lauren on the stream.
Lauren, everyone give Lauren a round of applause for all the great work she's done.
Oh, yeah, okay, we got to watch this.
Incredible. Lauren, are we in frame here? Tell us what it was like. And by the way, Lauren's got a YouTube channel. I think it's already in my description, but for those that haven't, where can everyone find you to give you the love, the support?
Oh, it's Lethal Lauren 904 on pretty much everything.
Lethal Lauren 904. You were streaming in the courtroom. Thank you so much for that. What was it like? Was your first time in a trial?
Yeah.
Thoughts on, now as a psych evaluator, tell us your thoughts.
Well, I feel like...
Just raise it a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
We good? Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Sorry, people don't usually let me hold a microphone this long. Yeah, so I've said this from the beginning. I don't believe that she has like any sort of symptoms of a psychiatric illness that are debilitating enough to explain away this behavior. I will say that seeing her facial expressions and watching her respond to things, I think I take back one of my initial opinions, which is that this woman is not delusional. I will go back on that. She might be.
Delusional based on her reaction to temper tantrum?
She seems to really believe what she's saying, and she seems in disbelief at like what some of the other people are when she was like on cross and stuff like that, and what Clayton was saying. And she's over there just chatting away at jingers, and it seemed like he was even at one point just like, dude, stop talking.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. She was so animated talking to him,
Yeah.
and it looked like he might have been corresponding even with Woodnick. There were text messages going back and forth. Did you notice anything else with regards to her psyche, as far as any believability? Are those types of things you can look at?
I mean, when you have like that quick of a trial, there's only so much you can get from that. So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot to be said that I feel like wasn't able to be said in the time frame. So
She wanted to be the star, and she was made the star. She spent the most time on the stand,
yeah.
and yeah, I mean, whether or not she believes it, she says, if it tests over 4, I was pregnant. That seems to be what she believes. If it tests over 4, and by the way, that means she can just keep on doing this if she's not going to lose this case. It means she can keep on doing this if she believes she was pregnant. And what kind of precedent would this set in the court system if someone's able to just pee above a 4 HCG level? I mean,
you could probably do that, too.
you know what? I was gonna do it to prove a point, but men only go above HCG if they have like prostate cancer, and I was like, I don't need HCG. No, but for diet medication, what they didn't include is that you could literally buy HCG infused water. Now they say, well, it's not that high of a dosage, but she never tested high. No one's claiming she had 250,000 HCG. It was so low, and it seems as their only defense is, but then she no longer had it, because then she was no longer pretending to be pregnant.
Yeah, true.
Wild stuff. Well, thanks again for being here and for doing the live stream. I'm sure we'll have a chance to rewatch it and all that. But
yeah, I'll have to, because I was too busy like looking to see if the camera was cutting in and out. So
yeah,
I need to relook at that.
Great work.
I probably missed some stuff.
No, you're fantastic.
No, you
get
got
margaritas
everything.
with us later?
What time?
I don't know.
Wait, don't
Now?
tell people that.
Okay,
Wait.
we won't say where.
Yeah,
Well, thanks again for all you've done, and everyone can go support your new channel. It's monetized. You can send her super chats, Venmos, all those things. There's breadsticks if you want one. We got plenty of breadsticks.
I wasn't even going to ask.
I wasn't even gonna ask. You just took one down. There it is. And then I'll take that from you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. All right, well, there it is, Lauren. Absolute wonderful job as a psych evaluator. Lauren was one of the first women publicly to share her thoughts, which means a lot. Not that anyone was obligated to, but it meant a lot from the content creators that decided to cover this, Steve, myself, to finally have some women publicly to go, no. I am fully in belief that Dr. Dean found this story because of our channel, and we were able to set up an expert witness that way. Whether they want to cry that that's a bias or not. Nice sticker, by the way. Look at that. What can I show this off here? Look at this. We have and by the way, now that I've changed the name, this is like worth more, by the way. Yeah, and then OG Barrel Scrapers Club right there. All right. Fantastic
Jillian
stuff.
says,
So
thanks for covering this again,
we'll
Liz.
probably wrap
I
up
hate that
here
she
in a
came
second,
after.
but
Yeah.
let's just see if we've had any other thoughts.
I hate
Anyone
it
coming
too.
in? All right, we've got Clayton coming on.
What? He said something.
If Clayton pops in, do you know how to add him? You can add Clayton by. I sent him the link to his email, and it'll pop in, and then you just add to stage, and it should go too. So we're gonna talk to Clayton. I don't have a monitor set up for anyone to hear it, but he's gonna come into the chat. You want to jump on? I just might have to interrupt you if so. Here, hop on in with me. We have a therapist here. Come join me. And if Clayton pops in, we'll just finish our conversation. Do we have Clayton? No, we don't. Okay.
Is he there?
Nope, not yet. So yeah, like what type of therapy do you do?
I'm an LCSW, so a licensed clinical social worker. I've been working for about 15, 20 years now as a therapist. And there's been a lot about this case that has been very concerning, for sure. I know Lauren has talked about, kind of at length about her diagnoses or if she's mentally ill enough to count. I think there's a lot, like this sort of spectrum of what counts as too mentally ill. And if she was too mentally ill to stand trial, they wouldn't have her be on there, right? Like she has to be.
Which
aware
might be
of
more
what's going on
dangerous.
around her.
It might be more dangerous.
Well, yeah, right. But
If she was out there yelling at the sky,
correct, we
we'd
would
go,
know.
oh.
We would for sure know. Like, oh, she made it up. Is he there?
No. Do we have Clayton yet? No.
Okay, just stop me. So I think the problem with the mental illness piece of this is that there are so many there's so much stigma about having a mental illness, and people saying, oh, she's narcissistic, or she's this, she's that. None of us have been her therapist. None of us know her. You can see her lies. Obviously, she lies, right? But people lie and aren't mentally ill. However, there's a difference between having a diagnosis like depression or anxiety and having a personality disorder. So a personality disorder would be like a narcissistic personality disorder. It's at your baseline of who you are.
Right.
Whereas depression is something that you have. It's something that you can treat. It's a chemical imbalance. A personality disorder is just at your base. An easy one to understand is a sociopath, a murderer, a
Right.
serial killer, those kind of people.
They just don't feel the emotions they're supposed
Right.
to feel,
And they can't
but they
teach
know
it.
that they're doing
They
it.
can like fake it, but that you can't grow that,
Yeah.
right? So she certainly has traits of some very serious personality disorders.
The dark triad,
I
man.
can't say. I have not been able to look at all of her medical records.
Yeah,
by
is
far.
there a fear?
I have
Is
not.
there a fear that she would come after, like that psychologists don't want to speak up because she then might come after you because?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the reason I haven't.
Because
said a
let me
word
tell
this
you
whole
something.
time.
We've got hundreds. I mean, the people watching are doctors, nurses, psychologists. We're getting so many experts that are watching this. Judge Mata's father.
I ain't got no
I mean, the
damn,
people.
degree,
I have
so-
a friend of mine who's a producer for a Netflix show says that the Bravo casting directors have been watching this.
Right.
They don't know what to do with it, but they see that this is true life baby reindeer.
Right.
And when we watch this play out today with the cross-examination, you know, it's one thing to have 55 hours of live streams. It's another to just show how concise these weaponized emails are about the bullshit to convince him that I'm the girl you should be fucking.
The thing that I think is really important about that part of it, the manipulation piece, the gaslighting piece. Personality disorders, they used to think of them like a death sentence. Like you have it, forget it, you're screwed forever.
Yeah.
But there are certain ones, particularly borderline personality disorder. I don't know if you've heard of it. It was thrown around a lot with Amber Heard. I can't say that she has that, but she certainly has traits of it.
Sure.
And it's something that typically is formed out of trauma, like some severe childhood trauma.
I've got Clayton,
Okay,
so we'll
Clayton's
come back
on.
to that.
We'll come back.
Let me know if he's live here. I'll just go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have Clayton Echard. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dave. Can you hear me?
I can. We watched your testimony. We watched it live from the van. You've had dozens of people here cheering you on. What are your thoughts following your trial?
I think it went really well. I wasn't anticipating such a rush of emotion, you know, from anger to just the feelings of being overwhelmed. But I got to think that it went as well as it could.
If looks could kill,
I'm
man, when
obviously
he looked at
nervous,
her.
because, you know, waiting is waiting. I'm trying not to think about it too much, but just how serious this is and what's really at stake. I really just hope that this is the end of it all. So I'm grateful for what happened today, but yeah, there's just a lot to digest.
You had on your Instagram reel, a brave reel with Mike and Greg, and then you had your parents here. What's it like to have the support system of those around you?
I mean, I couldn't do it without everybody. Everyone on the Reddit that has searched day in and day out and has given us hope through uncovering information which I would not have been able to uncover myself. To have my family there, you know, it meant everything. I had one brother that was working, but he would have been there if he was able to. It meant a lot, and to see my parents, mom get emotional, it just really shows. Again, it's like I have so much love around me, so much support, and I really couldn't have done it without all of you. So I'm really eternally grateful for that, because this is something that I couldn't have taken on by myself. There's no way that we would have gotten where we were today if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you.
On behalf of everyone, I think a big you're welcome, because everyone felt like they were a part of something bigger than themselves. We saw the cops getting called today. I don't know if you were aware of that. Mike had the cops called on him by Laura's attorney. how does this make you feel? Do you feel like justice is going to be served here? Do you feel a sigh of relief right now, or are you still, going to wait until the judge's statements?
I really believe that whatever's meant to be will be, and I just am going to keep telling myself that. I mean, I have to continue to live my life and go about my day to day. I'm going to take a few hours here to decompress.
Yeah, you just got to dance it off, man. Well, I couldn't imagine what it's like to go through what you've gone through, but we appreciate you taking the time to speak to everyone here, and you did a fantastic job out there. You were believable as hell, and I hope that you feel a little bit better now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dave. I really appreciate all that you're doing. Thank you.
Of course, take care. Clayton Echard, everybody.
Thanks, Clayton.
Wild stuff coming in from Clayton. He basically just said that he was appreciative of everybody, and he had his parents there and a brother, and how emotional he was surprised he'd get so emotional following how all that went down.
I can only imagine after a hookup that he probably didn't think was going to turn into anything.
Can you turn Steve up? Is he up high enough, or is it just me?
The hookup from hell.
Never thought in a million years would turn into this. You hook up with a girl on May 20th of last year. Do you honestly think on June 10th of 2024 he'd be sitting in a courtroom about it? And there's so many things, obviously, so many branches to this case we've talked about, but it all goes back to that May 20th night. Obviously, it's a he said, she said. Those are the only two that were there that night. You and I do not know for sure if there was penetration. I personally tend to believe Clayton. I think her credibility is a lot more shot than his, considering all the stuff that did come out after the fact. But she doesn't understand that. She even said it on the stand today. We're like, yeah, I lied, but that wasn't that big of a deal. Like,
they try to make it seem like none of those lies matter because there is a shred of evidence that she may have been pregnant. Just like that'd be like arguing, well, I may have had X, Y, and Z, but you can't prove that it wasn't true, but none of her evidence backs up any follow-up with her.
And something we said from the beginning, she could have gotten away with this if she would have said she miscarried beginning of July, maybe even into August 1st. But when this woman sat in a Zoom trial hearing with a fake baby bump and said, Clayton, I am pregnant with twins. Clayton is the father. I am at 24 weeks, which never even got addressed in the court today. The fake baby bump. We never even got to that.
It's
today,
absolutely.
and I think that's pretty big.
Are you going to stick around for a minute?
Yeah.
All right. Let me do this. I'm going to.
You're gonna what?
All right, I'm straight into the podcast and then just continue covering it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rush Hour Podcast. It's Monday afternoon, June 10th, 2024. The evidentiary hearing between Clayton Echard and Laura Owens just went down. I'm live with Reality Steve, a.k.a. Steve Carbone, Spoiler King, following a rough weekend in Vegas at Fan Appreciation, where he cooled off to 65 degrees in his hotel room. We don't have an answer to what went down, but this episode today will be a little bit of a follow-up on the wild court case that happened today. You were in the spillover room. Tell me what you saw.
Well, we got to watch it on a giant monitor. For the first, I want to say, actually, I keep forgetting her name. Woodnick's cross-examined Laura. Deandra. For about 10 minutes, it was very, very faint. Her, because remember, she wasn't sitting at the desk with the mic.
Right.
And then the judge told her, because the guy that we were in the room with, we said, is there any way you can go in and inform the judge? She needs to get a mic so we can hear it. And then she finally did, and it was great. The vibe in the room was everybody here that was in that room was supporting Clayton. So
a spillover room. So a room full in the courtroom, another room, 50 people standing out here
50,
probably in 120-degree heat. It's 110 plus the surface
you
temperature.
break the elephant. We were inside. It was nice and cool.
Yeah, our generator went out, so we were just dripping and drying.
Dripping right now.
Yeah, Steve is dripping here. But these are people. Some flew in from New York, Boston. People flew in from all over the country because they were so invested in the story. Not because it's the greatest story in the world and the greatest injustice, but they were watching a man they had never met before, Clayton Echard, Greg Gillespie, Mike Maracini, Matt. They were watching these guys get dragged through a system that was there in part by her just to punish them.
Yeah.
And people didn't want to be a part of letting that happen.
Yeah, I the support has been great. I mean, this is amazing to meet all these people and to sit in the overflow room and watch that. And every time Laura did something or made a face or, brought on the crocodile tears, it became, we were laughing, we were giggling.
So it's safe to say you were in the spillover room, so you were allowed to make noise. You weren't in the gallery.
No, I wasn't in the gallery.
She's getting cross-examined because we all know she lied about her HCG, massive amounts of lies from ultrasound she sent you. My name was brought up multiple times.
Yeah.
At least she called me
She called you a content
creator,
creator,
which smut blogger. I don't know. But either way, she was really on the ropes. If that was a boxing match, they might have called it at that point. She was on the ropes. She was like real stumbling on her heels. And then someone makes a comment and like chuckles. She addresses them as the JFC Crew, Justice for Clayton.
Yeah.
And then she starts crying. Immediately, her attorney asked for a recess.
Yeah.
So they knew the second it was going to get tough, let's break this up. This is like in a basketball game, three-pointers in a row, the momentum swings, call a timeout. That's what they did.
Well, I think one of the things that's interesting that I found out after the fact from some of the people out here, because some of the people out here that are around us right now were actually in the courtroom. And I think one of the things that we found out was you saw it on the feed where Deandra stepped over a little bit to block Laura's view from Gingras. Apparently, Gingras was sending motions to
like an umpire. He was sending. He was
sending.
He
her
was trying to
signals
calm
during
her
cross
down.
examination.
And by the way, it's important to let her. It's important to let her dig her own grave if that's what she's going to do. Meg, did you want to say anything? We're live on the Rush Hour podcast, so they haven't heard from you yet. Do you want to make any comments on what you saw inside? Meg Fox, everybody.
I saw Gingras doing baseball motions to his client so hard and so obnoxiously. Deandra had to stand in front of him to block his view from his client. And even then, he was looking around Deandra, trying to get around.
Have you seen this before as a strategy to intercept?
Yes, I have. I have seen this, but I've never seen it to this extent. It's never been this bad. It is. And normally when it happens, the judge will call it out. The other attorney will call it out. I think that Greg Woodnick wasn't watching him, but then I saw Greg look at him, and David Gingras looked back at Greg and quit. He was like, "Oh," like this, like rubbing
Absolute
his face.
disgrace.
And then, as soon as Greg saw that, he gave a note to Deandra, and Deandra moved.
I mean, we're going to obviously be able to analyze this more when we like rewatch the streams, but I don't, I'm not a true crime guy. I'm not a courtroom guy, but it just seems, I mean, we have to believe that Gingras knows she's lying. He admitted to it that she was lying. He's just holding on to this thread of HCG.
Yeah,
Probably come back and say something. I don't know. I'm gonna cut this video down shorter. I'm gonna leave the full live stream up, but I'll cut it down shorter. But I was saying a couple different shit. What was I saying? Well, one thing I thought was funny is like when Woodnick said, if I don't hear back tonight, I'm having the baby. I was like, bro, we've been joking about that for months, and to hear it being said in a courtroom is so fucking absurd. And then for her lawyer in the next moment say, if we need to win this case tonight, or I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. That's how it sounds to me. I can't believe he's literally, like, after this case, he's out. He said, I'm leaving tonight. I'm going to be on a boat. I ain't going to hear no phone. I ain't going to hear nothing. Don't contact me. Don't call. Don't write. Don't email. Don't text. Don't send no carrier pigeons. I am going to be out of commission. But I can imagine that as a lawyer, both of them seem like they had their adrenaline was like really gone, which I've heard like when I watched like interviews with trial attorneys like say that like when they have to do a trial, when it gets to that point that they get like really, really riled up and like super, like adrenaline pumping. So like he's probably just been working on this for weeks and he's just like super adrenaline, and then he's about to crash like, on a beach somewhere, which that's fair. Like I can definitely understand why you would want to do that.
On this, that was pretty cool of Mike to say.
Okay, I need to stop checking in. I have FOMO. I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, there's something I want to mention. Anyway, so that therapist or psychologist, whoever that came on, and said that some of the things that she saw seemed to remind her of borderline personality disorder, which is also something that I've done a deep dive on, but that was a little bit longer ago. That was more so like 2020 when I did my borderline personality disorder deep dive. As I was saying earlier, I know a lot about schizophrenia, like a lot on like schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, schizotypal. Like I know a lot about schizophrenia, the symptoms, the prodromal phase, like, you know, positive, negative symptoms, you know, behavior characteristics, the word salad. Like I know all about all the things, you know, the psychosis, the delusions, the hearing voices, you know, I know a lot about that stuff because, like I said, I'm just a hobbyist. Like, I'm a hobbyist psychology person. I read about this shit for fun. I watch YouTube videos about it. I watch movies about it. It's just interesting to me. Along with crime, police shit. I am a crime, police, procedural, trial junkie. So this shit is like, here we go. Like, let's go. Let's see. Like, you know what I mean? So, again, I'm not a clinician, but to me, you know, the borderline personality disorder is called borderline because people who experience it are borderline psychotic. That's why it's called that. And so, parts of psychosis, like I said, could be seeing things, could be hearing things, auditory hallucinations. There's also like this effect with schizophrenic people that they may have like I forget what it's called, but it's like a dead kind of like just no emotions. Like you could talk about something that's funny, they don't get it. Just, you know, if they're this is just some of their symptoms. A flat affect, I think it's called. Just flat, just like nothingness, like can't make them smile. You know, maybe you're talking to them, and this was all sparked because I had met someone who was schizophrenic, by the way. But you talk to them, and they may hear you say things that you didn't actually say, or they assume that you think things that you didn't actually say, which is also similar to stuff that people with borderline personality disorder also go through. My favorite YouTube channel on psychology is Dr. Kirk, Psychology in Seattle. He is a clinician in Seattle who makes tons of videos about psychology, including he will watch shows and do like reactions and like clinician reactions. He's a marriage and family psychologist, whatever. And if you pay for his Patreon, which I have before, he does like these deep dives where like literally it's like fucking 20 hours of content. Like it's literally like a lecture. It's literally like a college lecture almost. And he is a trainer. Like he does, of course he's a psychologist, so he's done research, but he also is a professor and he like trains other psychologists. So he's like extremely, you know, informed, and like actually borderline personality disorder is his specialty. A lot of therapists don't like working with borderline clients because of the fear of getting sued. This is a real thing. Their fear of getting sued because borderline clients are, again, borderline psychotic, that they may hear things that didn't happen, say they experience things that didn't happen. Dr. Kirk, like I said, he had like, I mean, it was probably 20 hours. I think it was 20 hours. I think each episode was almost 3 hours, and he had like 5 episodes. Okay, that math is not adding up. And between 5 to 8 episodes of going through everything about borderline personality disorder. And he even told the story one time about a client that he had that I may not get this fully right, but a client that he had, it was a couple, and one of the couple, the woman, did not want to see him anymore because she said that he told her that she's a bitch and that she needs to shut up or something. And she was absolutely convinced that he had said this to her. And not only did the woman's husband, who was also in the therapy session, say, honey, he did not say that to you. Like, that's not what happened. I mean, they were probably in there because she was hearing shit that her husband wasn't actually saying, or like getting defensive, like, you don't love me, you hate me, you said that last week. And he's like, I said nothing like that. Again, borderline psychotic. And so he had to convince this woman over a long time that he did not say that about her. And like she said that she mostly believed him, but she still like held it against him that he had that he basically said that. Going back to eavesdrop.
Behind Deandra, it's like
Where does
okay,
this
that makes sense.
Where does this rank on a bachelor story or even entertainment news story
It's
you've
not
covered?
even close. It's number one. But because Clayton is not Tyler Cameron, people don't want to give it the attention it deserves.
And again, no mainstream media here, as far as I could tell. No, not even the local.
From the Arizona Republic. Where'd Jimmy go? Where's Jimmy? Jimmy, where'd you go?
No. So it is frustrating to sort of have to foot the bill as far as having to be here. I would
By the
much
way,
rather.
Is the song article still up?
I believe
The
so.
initial one.
I believe they're all up. When Clayton received a little to no test result.
I think wasn't Clayton on Michelle's season? Yeah, wasn't he on Michelle's season and then he got his own? So you guys can clarify that. But anyway, so yeah, that's the whole thing with borderline. So I didn't even hear the thing about Clozapine that Megan was talking about. But apparently Clozapine is what is an antipsychotic. It can treat schizophrenia. Can also lower the risk of S behavior in patients with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. As we just Googled, sometimes people with borderline can take antipsychotics. And so as for the whole R thing, so I have said this in a comment before, and I'll say it here again. I guess I'll just elaborate. And this is no offense to anybody, guys. Like, let me just cook, okay? Let me just cook, all right? This is no offense to anybody. I appreciate all the shout-outs. But as I was saying in the trial, I was trying to go onto this diatribe, but it was cut off. But, there's that case with that baseball player who has a situation that's very similar to this, where a woman was trying to extort him, where she targeted him, she went after him, she said that she was pregnant, she said this, she's just stalked him, just relentlessly pursued him. It was a black woman who did this to this baseball player. And the baseball player, took it to court, took it to trial, and she ended up, from what I understand, she's going to serve 16 years in prison for extortion, stalking, all these kind of crimes, all right? Now, it has been proven that black men, for example, receive harsher punishments for the same crime, than their white counterparts, okay? In this situation, I want to see, because it's so similar, if you're going to put a black woman in jail for all this shit, you need to make sure that you put this privileged, skinny white girl in jail as well. All I'm asking, and a lot of people are also asking this, enforce the law equally. Enforce the law equally. Okay? This has reached a level of criminality when you're forging documents, when you are forging signatures, when you are saying, if you don't do this, then I will do this. Okay? Harassment, criminal levels of harassment. Like I said, criminal stalking, cyber stalking, harassing people all over the country. Okay? Not just anyone who, tries to do this, harassing his family members, making him lose jobs. Like, enforce the law equally. Enforce the law equally. When she accused him of R, when she accused him of the big R, what I don't understand is why everyone didn't say, oh, hold up. That's it. We're done. To this day, this woman is still getting empathy from some of the people who are making content about this. And like I said, guys, it's no offense to anybody. Just let me cook. I just don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why. And I feel like if the situation was different, no one would be showing empathy to someone doing this to somebody. Like, it's just like, oh, poor crazy rich white girl. Like, oh, she's so crazy. Oh, she's just so crazy. Like, forgive her, Lord, for she knows not what she does. Like, nobody would be saying this. Nobody would be doing that if it was like other people. If it was other people, it just would not happen. And like, as Clayton said when he was on Charlie Kirk, which I will say, when he was on Charlie Kirk, like, I know that was very controversial. I was like, at that point, I was like, he's got to do what he has to do. You know, he has to do what he has to do. And I feel like Clayton did a very good job by dodging all of the fucking conservative dog whistles and I would say red-pilled talking points, red pill ideology, talking points, very misogynist. We already know Charlie Kirk is a misogynist, you know. We've seen him say, you know, things about, like, if he sees a pilot as a woman, that he's not getting on the plane. We've seen him say those types of things. He said before, if he saw a black person as a pilot, he's not getting on the plane. You know, he said these things. That being said, I feel like Clayton did a good job dodging his what I would call CNN, Fox News, like network news station, like traps that they try and get people in. You know how when you watch those shows, they always try and get people into a trap to, like, say something? Like, Charlie was trying to get Clayton to admit that there's a bias in this country against white men, which he ended up adding in the end, when I saw when he added it, Clayton was like, you just had to do it, didn't you? You just had to fucking say it. But I feel like he did a good job, so I don't have any criticisms for him for that. So, what I'm saying is that what he said on there was that if the situation was reversed, and let's say it was a bachelorette, and there was a man, you know, stalking her, contacting these people, you know, taking her to court for paternity, like all kinds of, taking her to court for child support, I don't know, whatever. He said that he would have been arrested already. It wouldn't have gone down like that. So I feel like once she accused him of the big R, I feel like everyone's empathy, oh my God, she's just a little crazy rich girl. She doesn't know what she's doing. All of that should have gone out the fucking window. Like, it should have been like these, you know, think places like, come on, Laura, just tell the truth. Just tell us. No, like, this person is diabolical. This person will call the police on you and tell lies. This person will call the FBI on you and accuse you of heinous crimes. Where they don't care what happens. If police show up to your house with guns because they've accused you of heinous crimes, she does not care. She's accusing a person of no matter if Clayton clears his name, this is going to follow him forever. This is what I love to call the asterisk. Okay? I didn't make this up. I read it somewhere. This is what you call the asterisk. When, at the end of their life, any news story about him in the public, Clayton Echard, it's going to have an asterisk by it. Like, oh, but remember this thing that happened? because she wants to be permanently, surgically attached to him for the rest of her life. Like I was saying, the pick me mentality is a mental fucking disorder. It is. In the DSM-6, they need to fucking investigate pick-meism. Like the desire to like latch on, because she's still doing it with the other guys too. She's still doing it with the other guys. So, all right. So I talk about the schizo and the BPD. I ended up taking a little bit of notes later on. I was just mostly watching, but I wanted to talk about like paranoia, right? So when I was at the height of my, when I was talking about how she believed, I want to know if that therapist came back. I wanted to hear what she had to say. Let me go back and see if they talked to her again. Oh, they didn't. I was looking back at the stream. I'm eavesdropping because,
No, but you're more than welcome to keep going.
you know.
Nope, we're signing off.
All right.
I'm signing off.
Oh, they're signing off.
Stuff to do. I got a party to plan. We got swimming pools and margaritas to
There it is.
fire up. So thanks, guys.
All right, they're out.
Give Bruce enough credit here. Bruce is in the hot van, was sweltering, melting away.
Anyway, yeah, thank you again, Dave, Megan, for streaming. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for this. Thank you guys for your support with this. I'm not signing off. I'm just saying thank you to them. But anyway, what I was saying is that another therapist, and also Lauren was saying that she believes that Laura believes everything that she's saying. Like, and I believe that too. Again, I am just someone watch a court case and speculating, okay? Not a clinician of any kind. I was not there, whatever. But I want to talk about my own shit. Was that, like, when I was at the height of my anxiety and panic disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder, which is around the time of the pandemic and my father's terminal illness, and his terminal illness, that his process of being sick and then passing away and then being completely alone after, and then also, you know, not able to like live my career, and like I was in a very, very fucking dark place, and I became so paranoid. And I noticed that there is a bit of hypochondria here. There's, you know, certain things like the fear of like, oh, I'm sick, I have cancer, I'm this, I'm that, and that, and that, and that, which is like a manifestation of anxiety. I went to grief counseling and shit. And so, you know, I would have these like, I wouldn't say delusions, but I would say irrational fears, or what they call it is hypervigilance, that something really bad was going to happen to me. And that's like, you know, possibly seems like that potentially could have been happening here too, with the calling the police and like, you know, saying, Clayton, you have to promise you're not going to hurt me. Like, oh my God, he's going to hurt me. I need to do this, that, all these things. Except, you know, I might have had those feelings, but I never actually went through with it because I'm not that far gone, or I wasn't that far gone. But I would have the hypervigilance of like, you know, seeing a guy in a shopping mall with a long coat, and I would just immediately like beeline for the exit. Like, I got to get out of here. Like, I don't want to be, you know, something's going to happen. That guy's going to do something. Like, I wouldn't like say it out loud, but I would just like act on it. Like, there have been so many times that my anxiety during this time, ow, why you scratch me? There's been so many times during this time period when my anxiety, like, I believed so hard that something really horrible was going to happen, and it didn't happen. It didn't end up happening, but I would like leave places. I would like not meet up with people, or like I would not go to events. Like, I've walked out of jobs before. Like, during this time period, I turned down this guy for like 2 jobs because he needed me to come to his house to help him with equipment, which sounds sketchy, but it most likely was not sketchy at all. I've had to do that before. So, but I was like so paranoid and so scared that I just knew something horrible was going to happen. Another time, like a photo shoot, I had a photo shoot at a potential client's house, and like I didn't only realize till I got there that I only spoke to them on the phone. I never actually saw them, and I got there and I was like so scared, and it was in a nice neighborhood in Pennsylvania, like it was in the suburbs, like it was like, not that bad stuff can't happen in the suburbs, but it was just like a regular shit. And then this lady came out, and you guys know I'm West Indian, like she was Trinidadian, so we was both Caribbean like people, and it was like so nice. It was like your house is nice, everybody's nice. I'm like, wow, I totally made it up in my head that these people were gonna kill me. Like I totally fucking made up. And so through having those repeated interactions of like me not being murdered by somebody, I was able to like, oh wait, okay, the hypervigilance comes from my dad passing away, and like, you know, being in the hospital all the time. And then, you know, I was in therapy. I did cognitive behavioral therapy to like, and I did EMDR. EMDR saved my fucking life from PTSD. And I was able to like the fact that I live alone right now, I go on my bed, I lay down, I'm good. Like a year, let's say over 2 years ago, 3 years ago, during when my anxiety and shit was like crazy, never would have fucking happened. But I knew there was a problem. My family told me like, Liz, you can't keep calling us at 2 a.m. with panic attacks, okay? You can't. You gotta go to therapy or something. And I've been to therapy, you know, on and off throughout years, whatever. But the fact people was telling me that, and I didn't want to live like that anymore, I took my fucking ass back to therapy again, because my health insurance was in New York, so I had to get my health insurance in Delaware where I was at the time. So that was kind of what like stopped me. But I took my ass to the therapist, and I went and got help. Okay? I never did no criminal shit. Never put no restraining orders. Never accused people. Never harassed anybody. Never stalked anybody. So it's like your mental health shit is no fucking excuse. No fucking excuse. Okay? A lot of us have been there. A lot of us have fucking been there. A lot of us have been on medication. Okay? There's no shame in that. A lot of us have been on medication. You know, have different types of therapy, different methods, try different things, you know, meditation. Like I said, EMDR saved my life. Reading books, like being proactive. Not feeding yourself lie after lie after lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. You know? But it's like, you know, as I said in my previous video, my why do people fake a pregnancy is that from what I understand, most people like this cannot be fixed. Most of them cannot be fixed because the nature of their disorder is actively fighting. It's actively fighting recovery. So let's say you go to therapy. First of all, if you're a narcissist, you think, I don't need therapy. I'm right. Everybody's wrong. So that's the first fucking step. Then if you go on therapy, you start to feel like the therapist is starting to catch on to you. You're going to stop going to that therapist. Like Dr. Kirk specifically talks about this, about how treating borderline personality disorder. I'm not saying she has this. I've been talking about borderline, whatever. That it's so hard to treat them because their sniffers are very strong. If they start to feel like the doctor is seeing through them or accusing them or something, they're out of there. Like, they're not seeking help. They're out of there. They go to the next one who, let's say, validates them. So it's a long, subtle process of getting through to them. So a lot of them, they just don't. And then that's the thing, too, is like if you spent your, 35 years of your life being borderline or narcissistic, he says that it's going to take at least 10 years of consistent therapy in order to have some kind of semblance of like control over yourself. So, and I would say that's about right. I would say I was in therapy on and off for about 8 years. Like I was in for a couple months and I might like take a year off and I switch different ones. And like, listen, all therapists are not created equally either. Like there are so many therapists, this doesn't get talked about enough. There are so many therapists that truly do not understand anxiety. They truly do not understand post-traumatic stress disorder. And I only learned that until I met with a doctor that like was highly accredited, had a lot of accolades and a lot of certifications, a lot of classes that, you know, extra that she took to like really understand this shit. Like most therapists or social workers like don't really understand anxiety. Like it's a lot more complex than just being like, oh, you know, I'm afraid to be alone, or like I'm paranoid sometimes. Like it's a lot deeper than that. Like I felt anxiety for years, even when I went to therapy, and I didn't get diagnosed with that until like, let's say my 7th year in therapy by the specific doctor. Like a lot of them don't understand it at all. They don't know where it truly comes from. Okay. And you know, psychology is what, 150 years old, maybe if that. So it's still a science that's being learned ever more, or whatever. Anyway, so I don't have too much more to say. I've already been streaming for 3.5 hours. But some of my final thoughts I will say is, first of all, give this video a thumbs up. Okay, I'm sorry, but give the video a thumbs up, please. I definitely want to shout out Megan Fox, the queen, Megan Fox, for her help with me and also keeping her foot on this trial's neck. Okay, very much appreciate that. Dave Neal, of course, also shouting me out, keeping his foot on this trial's neck. Okay, again, keeping his boot on the neck. Truth, justice, not letting up, following it all the way through. It's been fun. It's been fun. It's been stressful. It's been crazy, but it's been fun. He was the one that inspired me to do my video in the first place. Damn you, Dave. But, yeah, he was the one that inspired me because I felt like he was all out there alone talking about it. I'm like, dang, you know, why is he the only one? Well, then I found out why he was the only one. But, also Lauren Neidigh, if I'm saying her name right, Lauren Neidigh, for the stream. She hit me up last night saying like, oh, Liz, forgot about you. Like, do you want a link to the stream? Like, if you're going to stream? And I was like, absolutely. I was planning to do something. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. I was going to do a reaction, but I ended up watching the trial. Lauren streamed it and was like, and she invited me to do it. So here we are streaming. But yeah, thanks to all those people. I believe it was that umbrella guy, Tug, who also helped me check one of my emails to make sure that they were legitimate from She Who Must Not Be Named, Voldemort, even though I have named her on this. But it's so much better to call her Voldemort anyway. So, yeah, my final opinion was that, again, like I said, I'm going to chop this down after the fact. To a manageable side of highlights of my reactions, I guess. But I think overall, I do feel like I am a bit confused about what is happening next. I thought, honestly, like, maybe I'm just not properly versed, but I thought after this that the judge was going to be like, okay, you're done? Okay, well, based off of this, I'm going to such and such, like how they kind of do with the shorter trials, like for, you know, a restraining order or whatever. I thought it was going to be something like that, but I guess she needs time to think. And then, like, what is she going to do? Just, like, send them an email of her judgment? Or, like, are they going to have to come back in again? Like, is it going to take, like a couple months? Lawrence pronounced Neidigh. Lauren Neidigh. Oh, that's cute. I like that. I like how it looks like the word neighbor. It's like makes her feel friendly or something. I don't know. I was thinking that earlier. But yeah, so I'm like confused about what's going to happen next. When they said it was over, I was actually shocked. I was like, is this a recess or like what's happening? Oh, the judge has 60 days to give her ruling. Okay. Well, it probably won't take her that long, but she might just like let it sizzle for a little minute. Like she might let it sizzle for a week or so. She wants to go over all the evidence. So one thing that I was like, I wish they would have shown the pictures, because I feel like the pictures are the most damning. Like the I'm pregnant this, and then riding a horse with a flat stomach, and then I'm pregnant, and then like the back and forth. I thought that was crazy, but I'm assuming the judge has those things. Like they just had whatever they were able to present in the time period. Unfortunately, we didn't get to the witnesses. That also would have been good. As for Miss Owens' testimony, I think she's very good at sounding sane. She's very good. You know, my relationship with my ex dusty ass boyfriend, this man would hold my hand, look me in the eyes, and lie. People like that are very scary. Very, very scary. As we've heard on the 911 calls as well. Very scary. She sounds very lucid, very clear, very concise, very proper, very believable. Scary. Scary as fuck. Very scary. So, you know, as I said, I was like, oh, you know, when it was time to talk to her lawyer, yes, that's correct. Yes, that's right. Yes. And then all of a sudden, when it was time for Clayton's lawyer to ask questions, what? No, I don't remember. I don't recall. I didn't do that. I didn't make that. I didn't know. That's wrong. What? Like, I mean, hey, you know, whatever. You gotta defend yourself, you know, whatever. But, so I thought her testimony was like that. There was some other interesting elements in the stream that, the whole her standing up and turning around. I definitely had a visible reaction to that, of concern. Okay, I don't really want to go into it. I talked about it earlier, but it was of concern. I've been there. I've talked about on my channel my experiences with how she looked, okay, when she stood up. And I feel like for that whole thing, they should have showed more pictures of the whole boop, 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 the whole back and forth. I think they should have showed that. Rogue Mama says, what about when she started crying so judge gave her a break? Oh, man, I was cracking up. She's like, the justice, if we're going to have the JFC crew. I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, you guys got a shout out. I was telling everyone to stop being ratchet in the courtroom. And speaking of ratchet, okay, I have to say this. I have to call it as I see it. This whole thing is very, very ghetto. This is one of the most ghetto shit I've ever seen in my life, okay? All right? Multiple baby daddies. How many? 4-time baby daddies? 4 baby daddies now that you're in court for, okay? Always in court. Always got a court case against somebody. The lawyer says she's been in court since nonstop since 2016. That is very, very ghetto. Very hood rat behavior. Very ratchet of you, lawyer. Very, very ratchet ghetto behavior, okay? You got mad different lawyers. Okay, you getting dropped left and right. You hitting people up, threatening them. She's a thug. She is a thug. Okay, she's a fucking thug. The district attorney's office needs to hear about this thug in Maricopa County. Okay, all of us are afraid of this thug, including myself. We know what she's trying to do for me. Like, girl, you got a lot more to worry about. Than some random nobody with 7,000 subscribers talking shit, okay? Worry about the ghetto-ness, the ratchetness, you know, texting a guy, telling him that your coochie is so tight. like that he just has to experience it. Like, that is very fucking ghetto, okay? That is something you would hear Sexy Red rap about, or Nicki Minaj, or Megan Thee Stallion, okay? Or Cardi B. This is like Cardi B level of ratchet hood rat behavior. Cardi B don't even have multiple baby daddies, okay? Multiple baby daddies. I'm sorry. I had to call like I said. This is very ghetto. Yes, Rogue Mama says Mike Maracino thanked everyone because that's why he came forward. Yes, I felt so bad for him. And like, you know, obviously I've been through nowhere near what he's been through, of course. But when she contacted like the Broward County Sheriff's Office, I felt very, very alone. Very alone. I did speak to some attorney family members, but I mean, they're not going to represent me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here in Florida. Like, I have limited family down here. Like, I felt very, very alone. And that was for only like 2 or 3 days until I was like, I saw people tagging Megan Fox on Twitter. And so that's when I reached out to her, and she just fucking came in with like her fucking cape on and like helped me out, you know, by putting this out there. But I totally understand. I totally understand how he, like I said, I only got a small bit of that. So I can only imagine, you know, what he's been through. And for, you know, like, yeah, it's just like really horrible. I'm glad that he felt comfortable enough to speak. You know, I left a comment last night on Clayton's page. He had said something. When he made the post with the guys, I left a comment saying, you know, tomorrow justice will be served, and that I would like to know the Maricopa County DAs, because he wants to refer to the DA, which he needs to do that. Like, he absolutely needs to do that, because this will happen again. Okay? And then, you know, in 2 or 3 years, we're going to be like, oh, wish you would have, you know what I mean? It will happen again. And, you know, this could potentially vindicate the guys who are still suffering from this, you know? He still has a restraining order against him, which they don't even live in the same state. He's got a girlfriend, or does he have a child too? Like, he has a wife. Like, he's moved on with his fucking life. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, I hope that he brings it. But anyway, while I was saying in my comment, I was like, you know, I would love to know the Maricopa County's DA office, because I would send them an email saying, you know, this person, you know, this court case is going on. I think you should enforce the law. Okay, this person, one of your citizens, is harassing people, including me, outside. I don't even live there. I've never even spoke to this person in my fucking life. This person, you know, has harassed me, who has contacted my local sheriff's office, you know, like, went way beyond above, like, taking some internet shit, like for me, like, you guys, you know, the other, you know, Dave, I'll just say, like, Dave, you know, Dave or Megan, or, you know, people on Reddit and stuff like that, you know, show her empathy. And, like, I don't know, am I not far enough on my walk with Christ? But, like, if you're calling the police and filing false accusations against somebody, I don't have no empathy for you. I don't have no empathy. I lost my empathy when you was doing this to other people. And then when you do it to me, I'm supposed to, for she knows not what she does? No. The Bible talks about justice too. It's not just turn the other cheek. When someone keeps smacking your cheek, you just keep turning it. The Bible talks about justice too. Okay? The Bible talks about that. All right? And revenge, as they say, is a dish best served cold. And that's what we ate today. So, honestly, yeah, that's really all I really have to say. this ghetto ratchetness was awesome. It was entertaining. You know, oh, that's what I wanted to say. So I had some people that were reaching out to me like on Instagram and Reddit saying like, hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. Like, you know, are you okay? People on Twitter and stuff like that. And I very much appreciate people reaching out. I didn't respond to everybody. But it was like, it was definitely a sore spot. Like, I've been stewing. When did we find out about this trial? In March? I've been stewing for a while. You know, when the whole she accused him of R thing came out, that really upset me. I'm not gonna lie. It really upset me for, you know, I would say, like, I wasn't like, but it was like, I was very, because obviously this person did something to me, and to know that, you know, she was already doing something to Clayton, of course, but then she was even taking it a step further to now it's like, not even like, I'm gonna just try and, you know, hurt you because you didn't want me after I gave the worst BJ of all time. I'm going to fucking destroy your entire life, your entire legacy, your children's legacy, past, present, future. I'm coming for it all. And I was like, bro, why are we still being, why empathy? Like, I don't know. Like, why are we still, she's like, why is she still a sympathetic character? Like, this is a fucking villain here. This is like a ravenous, thirsty, flesh-eating monster. Like, yeah, ratchet. And also a ghetto hood rat. A thug. Okay? A thug. This is thuggish behavior. So, yeah, so I was just like upset. Like, I have been following the case since then, and I felt bad because I'm like, I didn't want everyone to be like, oh, you just helped me and then I just disappeared. I mean, that kind of happened, but I didn't disappear. I was still watching everything. I've been commenting, like, I comment, you know, on Dave's videos, like, almost every one that he posts. You know, I comment on Megan's videos. I like their tweets. I do all these things, you know, so I've been there. I just haven't been like, hey, everybody look at me. You know, I've been following it. Okay? That being said, dang, I don't know if I should say this. That being said, okay? I don't know how to say this, guys. Hold up. That being said, oh, I can't believe this. Hold up. That being fucking said, dudes. Hold on. I guess this is the moment. To announce. I guess this is the moment to make this announcement. Wait, have I been no sound this whole time? No way. Oh, this is just when I did the... Okay. Alright. So, when I switched... Okay. So, what I was saying is, this is my film production page, but I have a short film coming out. Sometimes when you feel anger, and pain, as a creative, you have to put it somewhere. And so, I have a short film coming out. I will be dropping the trailer tonight or tomorrow. I think you guys might be interested in it. Written and directed and produced by yours truly. Like I said, I was stewing. I was very upset. No one's ever called the police on me. I've never been arrested in my life. You know, my father was a Fed. I've always been on straight and narrow. So to have someone call the police on you and make false accusations of criminal behavior, I was definitely very upset about that. Very upset about that. And inspired, might I say. Upset and inspired. Okay? I didn't think I was going to announce this here. But it's a good time as any. Well, this was from the shoot. This was, you know, our setup. As I said, you know, you got to flatter your DP. That's how you get the good shots. So the film is already done. No, it's not inspired by her. It's not inspired. The film does not depict any real events or real people. Well, let me read my disclaimer. Here we go. What does it say? Oh yeah, the characters and events depicted in this motion picture are entirely fictitious. Any similarity to names or persons, living or dead, is entirely coincidental. So, no. This is not based off of anything real. This is just an expression of rage. Female rage. And with that, I think I will say good day. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. Thank you guys for all your support, for checking up on me, for watching, for liking my stuff, for commenting, for subscribing. Thank you very much. You guys will see me around. Like I said, I'm going to try and drop a trailer today or tomorrow. And I'll catch up with you guys soon. See you later.